Fun where it begins, jokes that twist and turn your mind. Riddle games one of a kind. Puzzle time, tease your brain. Mazes, quizzes, whole new game. Laughs and giggles in every show. Facts and fun, now here we go. Welcome here, laugh and cheer. Brain teasers, fun's near. Trivia triumph, playful ways. Join our epic, awesome days. Facts so wild, make you grin. Think so deep, a journey to begin. Crazy trivia, history tales. Puzzle pandemonium never fails. Welcome here, laugh and cheer. Brain teasers, fun. Numbers spinning round and round in this game we're feeling found. Puzzles bright, colors loud. Minds is sharp, we're racing time. Epic moments in this climb. Entertainment prime. Brain benders, banter, we're here to play. Counting patterns night and day. Solve the riddles, make them sway. Cracking codes and chasing clues. Winning this we will not lose. Brain is what we choose. Fun and laughter fills the air. We're decoding everywhere. Join us if you dare. Brain benders, Banter, we're here to play. Counting patterns night and day. Solve the riddles, make them sway. Cracking codes and chasing clues. Winning this we will not lose. Brainy's what we choose. Fun and laughter fills the air. We're decoding everywhere. Join us if you dare. Brain benders, that's how we're here to play. Counting patterns night and day. Solve the riddles, make them sway.
Yay! Hey everyone, sorry we're late. We had some situations happen prior to the live stream. Everything is fine. My mom had a situation, and then I had a situation with my computer. So we're all good, technically up and running. Thank you all for being so patient tonight and being here with us and joining us on this beautiful Saturday. Depending on where in the world you are, it might be Sunday. However, thank you for joining us on this spine-chilling journey into the world of the unsolved mysteries and urban legends tonight. It's going to be epic because our panel is going to tell you their personal stories, their stories of things they've lived, things they've experienced. And if they don't have a story, then they are... Ooh, hold on, TD. Woo. TD's backstage. And so if they don't have a story, they're going to share something that they find interesting, or that they've heard, or that they witnessed, or that a friend or family member have experienced. So tune in as we discuss these famous mysteries, and we're going to go into popular. And as you guys know, Danny Staten hunts Bigfoot, and we've got Polly up here with the UFO community. I am so excited for tonight. This is going to be so amazing. So we have some spectacular things going on tonight. So I'm so grateful you're here. And again, thank you so much for tuning in, because we are going to dive deep into the spooky deep dive. So I am going to, first of all, bring up I think I'm going to bring up Danny first, only because, like, I know that there's other things going on in that back panel. I could see people moving around and stuff. I'm going to bring up Danny because he is our Bigfoot hunter, and we want to let you guys meet Danny up front tonight. So, everyone, welcome Danny.
Greetings from South Carolina. I'm excited about this show tonight. We're going down my highway, the
Right?
paranormal highway. Oh, wait a minute. He don't got that show.
This is your stomping grounds.
Yeah, well, I kind of do that. I'm a paranormal investigator, retired paranormal investigator. I used to spend all my days hunting down Bigfoot, lizard men, and other South Carolina cryptids. I got a whole various parquet of monsters I can tell you about tonight. Actually would need two shows to tell you about all of them, but I'll go through two or three tonight when we get started.
Okay, well, let me ask chat because I want to include chat tonight. So, chat, would you like this to be broke down into two shows so that we could all tell our story and then you guys could send your story and then we could talk about your guys' story?
Well, we got that guy in the chat right now named Michael Harper. He's got a great big story about how
I love Michael Harper. Go ahead, send him the link.
Yeah, I don't know how to do that. If I could, I would, but I don't even got his email actually. But
how did I get him on panel last time?
I have no clue. You probably dropped the link in the chat and he clicked on it.
I don't drop link in chat. I figured.
Probably Sarah. Sarah, she usually handles stuff like that. But Michael can tell us about his ongoing battle for 2 years with a troll. Ha 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 ha! He gets it.
Yeah, so we'll bring him up if I could get him the link somehow. I'll figure out how to get him the link, and then we'll get him up here because I like Mark Harper. Montero's in the house.
On time.
Montero, my best friend in life. Hi, Montero. Okay, and hello, everyone in chat. I see Wajamin. I see Esmeralda. I see Jeff. I see everybody's so excited tonight about this topic. And if you guys have a topic that you want to talk about, sick, I see you in chat. Spooky. Yes, I see all of you guys. I am not ignoring chat. I just want to get through the comments so that we could start the show because I was already late. And I apologize again. Colt, I see you in chat. What's up, Colt? I know you follow Snarky, so welcome to chat. Freeside, I see a bunch of people in chat. I don't want to miss anybody. Freeside, what's up, Freeside? We're jamming. Hold on 1 second. I have something for Wajamin. Wajamin never misses a live stream, and he's always on point. He's always at my live streams. He always is taking care of the chat, and I have something special for him. So hold on 1 second. I don't do this very often, but I want to do it for Wajamin. Thank you, Wajamin, for everything you do for us. It's really, really appreciated. Yeah, so thank you.
And I'm sorry I've been saying your name wrong for 2 years.
Wajamin.
I'm not going to say what I said.
Okay, Wajamin. That's all we're going to say. Wajamin.
I'm going to take your word for it.
Okay. All right. Welcome, Rick. Welcome, everyone. Well, I'm Dog Pound. I see Dog Pound in the house. Snarky's bringing a crowd. I'm going to bring up Snarky, but tonight, because of this special episode. What's up, mid-sized Sasquatch? Don't you look gorgeous?
Yeah, gorgeous, baby. It's so cool that she's dressed up like a real person tonight.
You look beautiful, but you're muted. You're muted.
She's muted on purpose. She don't want me to hear what she's saying.
That's actually just my shtick, right? That's
you are muted.
Thank you. It's my human filter. I got it from Caucasian Sasquatch. Get yours today.
Hi, Lobo. So, everyone, tonight, she's in rare form. She is mid-sized Sasquatch. Follow that channel, like and subscribe. You look beautiful, Snark. I mean,
Thanks,
mid-sized Sasquatch.
thanks, babe. You look
No,
gorgeous
well,
too.
I don't feel it, but thank you so much. All right, are we ready to get this show rolling? Like, do you have anything,
I feel like Jack Tripper up here right now.
Jack Tripper? Why?
Three's Company too. Jack
I'm
Tripper.
Chrissy.
You'd
Obviously,
have to be.
I have to be Chrissy.
So,
Spelled
so
correctly,
I'm
by the
Jack
way.
Tripper hanging out with Chrissy and Mrs. Roper.
No.
Oh, come on, that was funny.
Oh,
She laughed.
see, I messed up.
Oh,
It
you
was
were
the
trying to,
beastie.
you were
It's
just
because
trying
I'm
to
a
push
cryptid.
you were trying to push a button. It's fine. I saw you trying to
Yes,
push
this panel, the Star
I
Trek
saw it.
panel thing I got going on here.
So Jeff says hi. And so I'm gonna bring up everyone, and Chance, I'm gonna bring you up last because Chance has a special thing for everybody. So I'm gonna bring up TD, and then I'm gonna bring up our special guest Polly, and then Chance can come up because Chance is gonna go first anyways on the story. So here we go. I'm bringing up TD.
What's
TD, where are
up?
you? Are you in North Carolina yet?
I am. I'm in North Carolina.
Yay!
Oh, I'm in South Carolina. Wow.
I know. I'm your neighbor right now. Watch out. I'm just kidding.
Look out. Are you ready for tonight, TD?
I am. This is a really fun topic. I'm excited.
Oh, I
about
love
this.
your eyes. Like, let me
Thank
see your makeup.
you. My smoky eyes.
Yeah, I like it.
Thank you.
We all got our makeups on tonight.
Oh my
We're
gosh, we
ready for this.
do.
Yeah.
And I have to be Terry, the nurse from Three's Company. Then, if you're Chrissy and she's Janet, and Snarky's Janet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
And you could probably pull that off.
You know what? Yeah. I liked her a lot actually when I was little. That was like one of my favorite characters. And shows, basically, but
Yeah, I liked her. I was a little upset, that Chrissy left and all, but I liked her.
and
I'm
there was
still
it was
here.
very confusing. There's two Mr. Ropers, right? Wasn't there two different Mr. Ropers?
That would be a Chance thing, and I bet Chance is
Yeah.
chomping at the bit right
No,
now.
And-
there was
yeah.
Mr. Roper, and then there was Don Knotts' character, which I can't remember because I am not
Mr.
Chance.
Furley.
Oh,
Mr. Furley, that's right, Mr. Furley.
oh
He's
right.
great.
Okay. That clears it up. Yeah.
Thank you,
You're
Danny. Esmeralda said, TD, you have beautiful smoky
Aw.
eye.
Esmeralda is so complimentary of all of us. I love it.
I know, right?
Mhm.
All right. We are going to bring up Polly, our special guest. Here comes
Ooh.
Polly. Hi, Polly.
Hey.
Hi guys, how are you doing?
How are you?
Thank you so much for being here. I'm great. Nice to meet you
Good.
all. How
Good.
are
So
you
what-
doing?
So you're from the UFO community, so I can't wait to hear what you have to say.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm
Exciting.
ready for it. This is going to be awesome.
Yeah.
I know, right? I'm excited. Okay, and last but not
Me
least,
too.
are we ready? Okay, everybody. Okay. Ready.
Oh my God.
Welcome to Halloween in August.
Oh my God.
Chance. Tonight, I'm Dweezil, the psycho. I'm gonna tell my story of when I found a dead body in a little.
Polly, we're not always like this.
Don't lie to her.
Does anybody else think Chance looks like Paul
Hold on,
Stanley
Chance.
from the Lick It Up album?
If Paul Stanley and Michael Jackson had a baby.
Ah,
I don't know, Chance. I think it's adorable. Keep going, buddy.
I think you're just thinking about the plastic quality of Paul's face.
That could be.
Break a beat. Are we beaten? What did you say? Are you going to tell us the story, Chance? We're waiting. You're first.
Yes, I
I told the story the whole time.
Every Halloween, I tell the story. When I was
Oh,
You're
God.
really hard to understand, Chance. It's really hard to understand.
When I was 13 years of age. Can you hear me now? When I was 13, I went to the state of Maine in the USA. And that was to go for a summer trip for the 4th of July to my aunt and uncle's pond. Across from an island, my aunt and uncle, my mother's sister and her husband own a lot of land and cabins, some with electrical power from generators and some that had no power.
Chance, it's really hard to understand you, buddy.
On the 4th of July, 1984. Oh, crap. They want my wig.
Chance, you're so adorable.
He
And
looks
now
so
it's John
nice.
Thomas. You went from Halloween to Scary Movie.
I don't know, but what I could tell you is that was beautiful. That was just gorgeous.
I just want the
Oh.
wig.
All right.
Okay, there you go.
Judgment by
tell
Mike
us.
Harper said he's loving this way too much.
4th of July, 1984. I can't believe that's over 40 years ago. A stranger was on the pond in a boat with his buddies drinking, and he fell overboard and drowned. They never found the body for days. And this was right before Friday the 13th, 1984. So, little 12-year-old Chance in the early 80s, mid 80s, 1984, I said. Yeah, 1984. I was 13. I'm with my older cousin and my older cousin's friend, and they try to offer me marijuana. I say, no, I don't do that. I refused it. I shouldn't implicate my cousin Jesse, but I guess I just did. Sorry,
Let's say his
family
name.
show. But I did drink beer. The first time I drank beer, I said, I will drink some of that beer. No bong, I'll have beer. So
Is
we're
that-
on
is
the
that bus
island.
heavy?
It's nighttime. It's Friday the 13th. There's a missing body out there. And those that don't know the movie Friday the 13th, Jason Voorhees drowned when he was swimming, when the counselors were making love and not paying attention. So that's why Jason's mom went and killed them all in the first Friday the 13th.
Right.
Then she
Oh,
got
I didn't
beheaded.
know that's why. I didn't know that's
Yeah.
why that all happened.
Yeah, she goes,
Oh.
they weren't paying attention. They were making love while my boy drowned in the lake, Camp Crystal Lake, Camp Blood. Look what you did to him. Look what you did to him. That was played by Betsy Palmer.
I wonder how many little
Jason's
kids
mom.
just cried.
Betsy Palmer was a beauty queen in the 60s. She did the quiz shows, the live quiz shows. Well, she needed the money. She regretted doing Friday the 13th because that catapulted her to superstardom with younger folks when it was released in 1980, shot in 1979. Anyway, so it's just like that. So Jason, of course, turns out he lived and he saw his mother get beheaded. So then he goes on a revenge kick to kill all the camp counselors at Camp Crystal Lake, known as Camp Blood, that took out his mom, specifically Alice. He whacks her first with an ice pick to the temple in her house. In the beginning of Friday the 13th, part 2, she was the lone survivor of part 1. So anyway, just to set the stage. So at this point in time, only the first 4 Friday the 13th movies have been released in theaters, right? So Jason was big. So my cousins, while I'm drinking my first beers, are running around going, trying to scare the hell out of me. And it did. And what I didn't know, side story, is I'm carrying on drinking beer, laughing, going, you sons of guns. That echo carried across the way. My parents heard it. They knew I was drunk. I got in so much trouble. And I threw up the next day. We went ashore across the bank, and I threw up my bed. It was disgusting. All over, beer all over my sheet. Anyway, that's a side story. So the body never turned up until Friday the 15th. The police show up at my aunt and uncle's property and say, can we use your dock? We found a body. We found the body out in your pond. And of course, my aunt and uncle said, sure. They pulled up the body, which I named Bobbing Bob. I never knew this guy's real name, if it was Bob or not. And it was the most horrifying. It's the only time I saw a dead body in my life. And like his hand was like this. Rigor mortis had set in. His face looked like this.
Oh my
Like he was
God.
asking for his last breath of air. And part of his hand, it was all purple, bloated like the water. his fat belly, and I took out my 110 Kodak camera and started taking pictures to show my buddies back home. I saw a dead body, and my aunt's like, my aunt, who's my mom's older sister, don't do that, Aunt Jan. Don't do that. You're going to be cursed your whole life. Don't take pictures of the dead body. I said, I've got to. I'm sorry, and I did, and I took pictures. And I took the roll of film to a photo mat. They developed them. I still have one or two of the pictures. I took them to school. A teacher confiscated some of them. I was showing, in the fall. Like, how was your summer vacation? I saw a dead body. Look. And you couldn't see much of the dead body. I mean, it wasn't like, because 110 cameras aren't like 35 millimeter film. I mean, it was.
Oh my God.
Do you remember the 110 Kodak camera?
I remember it well.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Right.
Yes.
It wasn't even like actually Polaroids have better film. And those you look at old Polaroids from the 70s
I
and 80s.
have my Polaroid camera with me for this trip. Actually, I like taking real Polaroid pictures. I just love it.
Yeah.
Wow.
I know they've come back.
Yeah.
Yeah, with those teeny
Yeah.
tiny pictures.
Yeah.
Well,
Yes.
it's not the small one; it's a big one.
So I never found out the story of Bobbing Bob. That's my little unsolved mystery. I have others too for part 2, but I tell that story every Halloween. So sorry for those that have heard it. It was just horrifying. You had to be there, right? And that body, I'll never forget that look on Bobbing Bob's face.
Oh my
Bob and
God.
Bob.
Like that. Like, it's so haunting. So very scary. And I don't have nightmares about it. I never really did have nightmares about it. I drew pictures of Bobbing Bob to show my friends back home that I sketched. I did like a little likeness of it. And my friend Danny Cochran, who's been,
Oh, God.
he's been on these streams. He's been on streams with Danny Staten and Jeff Logan. They couldn't believe it.
it.
So you just had to be there. The timing, Jason was a thing. It was just like Friday the 13th. And I was scared out of my mind that this
Were you in
dude
theater?
was
Were
going
you in
to kill us
theater,
all.
Chance? Did you do
What?
theater? Did you do theater?
I have done live theater.
Like for when you were in high school and stuff.
Yes, and in college I did Carnival the play, and I had a lead part in that, and I played Ebenezer Scrooge in 5th grade on stage.
Oh, I was gonna
Christmas
say, I
Carol.
bet your teachers loved like your dynamic energy, your animations and stuff. I bet they like loved casting you in plays and stuff like that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, so came in, and that in chat says that story's new to me, Chance. Yeah, I mean, and I have a couple of those pictures. Maybe I'll show them, but I don't want to curse the panel.
Let's don't show them on this stream. Maybe we should do that on a different show.
Maybe on my show, but they're not graphic though. Like I said, you just see plastic being wrapped
Yeah,
over.
but
That could be a trigger warning for some people. That could be a trigger, yeah.
That's true. All right. Yeah, really. Someone sees that and they might hurt themselves or hurt someone else.
Well, or maybe
Okay,
they
Fuller, I
have
won't.
trauma.
I'll
Yeah.
spare you the photos that I took with my
We
110.
are going to do, however, a Halloween show of the scariest of the scary. So
Ooh,
plan
my
on
birthday's
it.
on Halloween.
Oh, it is? I didn't know you were
Cool.
You're a Scorpio. No one
Yes.
belongs so well.
Yeah, that
Eh,
exactly.
You're not a Scorpio.
Yeah, 'cause we're-
Yeah.
Wait, which she would know. I'm sorry,
She's a
Chrissy.
Scorpio.
Are
Yeah.
you
I'm
on
like,
the-
I
Through
know.
and through. I am
Yeah,
a true
'cause
Scorpio.
I am an
Me
idiot.
too.
I am too.
Uh-huh.
I was born November 21st, which is the cusp, because 22nd
Yes.
begins Sagittarius. I knew that.
Right.
My brain is not on it's not firing
Yep.
on all thrusters tonight.
Me
I
too.
was born. I'm
Don't
a
forget
Scorpio
from that
too.
wig.
You guys know that we have the least shared birthdays out of anyone in the United States, because even it's like women subconsciously won't go into labor on Halloween just because of the evil stigma, even subconsciously. Like they might
I was
like,
2 weeks late. My due date was Halloween.
Oh, mine was
Yeah,
January,
I-
so I was
And
a
I'm
month
gonna let
late.
it
So
go.
my sister has my
I was born
niece was-
exactly 9 months after Valentine's Day.
Yep, you're conceived on Valentine's Day. Yeah, you're right. Because when I had my daughter November 6th, it was overcrowded at the hospital. They let us go like after 20 hours. I lived in Arizona. I was like, you're just gonna let me like take it? Like I was like, I just take the baby home, And they're like, yeah, we're really crowded. You're healthy, and if you want to go, you can go. And it was crazy. But she said it's because you can see you on Valentine's Day if it's around that time frame when you get baby. So
That's
I was
so
born on the
interesting.
13th
I
of-
didn't
Yeah.
know people were planning their births relating to the Halloween day. That's so
Well,
interesting.
and not even
Hi,
planned.
Peter.
You just
Hi,
might
Parker.
be
About
knocked
that.
up on that day. Yeah.
Yeah, they just got lucky on Valentine's Day.
Or unlucky. It depends. But
So,
Amazing.
guys,
I want to say
go ahead. It's
I
your
just
show.
wanted to say hi to Peter Sky Parker, that somebody I met in 6 chat last week. So
Ooh.
just wanted to say hi.
What's
Hello
up,
to you.
Pete?
Hey, Peter Sky Parker, and hello to Wajamin and K Moonin and Esmeralda. Yes, this is Halloween in August. And the last thing I'll say, thank gosh we're not in the same room together. I'm over it now, but I had a gas attack today in bed watching a movie. And you've heard of May the Force be with you. It was with in my case, it was May the Farts be with you. I couldn't stop. I was playing tush trumpet under the sheets. It was terrible. I couldn't.
Hey, that sounds like a song. Why does that sound like a song?
Pizza. I was playing butt trumpet. It sounded like a trumpet.
I know, but I'm just saying that sounds like a song.
I'm sorry, ladies. We got very
pushed under the sheets.
We've got 4 attractive ladies here on the panel, and I'm sitting here talking about getting
We're not
natural
easily
gas.
offended. Don't worry.
But trumpets in paradise.
I'm pretty sure us 4 women are pretty.
So, but it ties in because I was haunted. I was haunted. By
I have a 14-year-old boy, and they like his friends spend the night. Do you know what I have to hear? So please, that's nothing.
Okay. See, I'm supposed to be mature.
Exactly.
I'm way mature. They're normal, as being
They each get 3 boner jokes each time they come over. Like it's so funny because one will go by, and then the other one's like, "Oh, you only got 2 of those left, so make sure you use it sparingly." Because I'm like,
it's like putting. TD, it's like putting money in the swear jar. You have this.
It is, but they're like, but they still get a limit because I understand they're boys. I get it. You know what I mean? Like I'm not trying to
Came in, it was salad, and I had half of a half pepperoni, half beef. Sorry, I know you don't eat meat.
Hey, we're not offended. No, please, anybody
Papa
can
John's
eat.
pizza, and it just
she just doesn't eat meat. That doesn't mean she holds anything against us that do be carnivores.
Absolutely not. I just don't like it.
We don't have here. But listen, I learned this. This is not a clinical thing. I learned this from Larry Hutchison, God rest his soul, my next door neighbor, married to Georgia growing up, my formative years. And he said, a fart is your body telling you have to take a shh, and I won't say the word on the show. And I thought, oh, that's pretty poetic there. So
it's the pregame for the big event.
I'm sorry. Bathroom humor is not cool. Sorry.
Look what Peter Parker said.
Come on.
Look at what Peter Sky Parker said to you, Chance.
He said, hi, Esmeralda.
No, look on the screen. Look on the screen, Chance.
This dude is a real professional. The way he moves the mic around to maintain a consistent distance from his mouth. Respect. Thank you, Peter Sky Parker. Appreciate it.
Gosh.
Now that's all I have to say. I will relinquish my time. I can't wait. Right when he's complimenting me, I flub my own words. I can't wait to meet Holly, if I'm pronouncing her first name right.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you are. Hi.
Not to be confused with my superhero that I had.
Yeah, everybody can't wait to meet Polly.
Hey, Polly. Everybody's enthused about you being on the panel. Beautiful.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for the invite. It's so fun and great and amazing. You're beautiful.
Well, where's your cute little accent from, Polly? Where's your cute accent from?
Why?
Where are you from? Yeah, you have such a cute accent.
Oh, well, I was born in Bogota, Colombia.
Oh, nice. That is
yes. Yeah, and I have my accent it's a mix, because I live in Israel 25 years now. I'm in Jerusalem now, and so yeah,
it's very unique, and
Thank you so much. Yeah, it's a mix of Spanish and Hebrew and whatever is going
a little bit
on
of
in
everything.
The brain. Yeah.
Aw, great.
Well,
so Polly, tell us your story.
My story. Oh my God. Well, as you mentioned, I'm very involved in the UFO issue. So I guess my story would be when I was 7 years old. My parents were, my father was a pediatrician and my mother a nurse. And so in our library at home, we had like medical books. And I love to just pick up a book every day and try to figure out about, the allergies and our body and physiology. I loved it. And so one day I picked a book from the library, and when I opened it, there was a triangled alien craft.
Ooh.
And yeah, that was so weird because I didn't see something like that before. It was the 70s, 80s, so no one talked about it. And what happened is that in that second, when I remember I had the book in my hands, and I was a little girl, so I'm trying to understand what I might look like. What is this? What is this triangle thing kind of in the sky? And suddenly everything freezed. It's like the time just freezed. And I'm standing there with the book, and suddenly I started to see like numbers running in my head, like when you see numbers running in a computer, running
Like the
numbers.
Matrix, kind of.
Exactly. Yes. And so those numbers were translated in my brain as images. And so I could see this craft like hovering outside planet Earth, and I was receiving like a message, like I was 7 years old, so the best way I could explain it by then was like this was a kind of different plane, not made by us. You are not alone in this planet. We are here outside watching on you. This craft is ours. This is not your technology. And you are not the only ones in this planet.
Right.
And so I was still having all these numbers in my head and trying to understand what is going on. But from that moment on, being a little child, I thought, probably, or this was my imagination, or I will hear maybe my friends at school talking about it, or my parents, someone will mention something about this kind of plane that I don't get in a triangle shape, but no one was talking about it. So I said, okay, or I'm crazy and I'm not talking about it either. And, I continued with my life. But I can say that was like my awakened moment. Like from that point on, I just couldn't, and I can't stop researching. This is like a switch was turned on. And for some reason, my goal all the time is just investigating and researching. I studied journalism in Colombia, but when I came here, the laws of journalism here were different. And so they told me I need to do my BA again. And I couldn't because I didn't have the language. I didn't know Hebrew still. And I needed to concentrate it on finding a work and everything. So my journalism just took a different path. I totally started concentrating on what is this, what happened, maybe I can find other people with similar stories. And I just started researching and trying to find the best accurate information. And at some point, I just started working in Facebook and sharing this information in different pages all around the world and sharing now my story. Actually, I didn't talk about my own experience till like a few days ago. I had my first interview in the Typical Skeptic podcast with Robert Khalil. That was the first time I talked about my experience, because till now I've been only researching and trying to find other experiencers, and all these YouTube like live things. It's really new for me. but I think it's so important because only sharing our experiences, we can find people that are related to it too. And so we are trying to understand ourselves, all this phenomenon, where is this going? Why is this happening? And so this is my goal here, like trying to find the best reliable, accurate information to share with the community, and in order to understand myself too, why did this happen to me. um, I can say even after that experience, I've been having like this lucid dream that happens usually during my ovulation period. And this lucid dream is really live, like I'm having like a paralysis during the dream, and I just fall like into this kind of desert. I cannot see, just it's just desert. The best way I can describe it is like the Martian soil, you know. And in this lucid dream, I always find this little boy that approaches me, and I'm in shock because this is a little boy in the middle of nowhere, and I'm scared. I don't understand what am I doing here, and like, what the hell am I supposed to do? Now I have a kid in front of me that looks kind of weird, a beautiful 5 years old child, but his eyes are a little bit like bigger with huge eyelashes, and he looks at me like he's curious about me. Like, the feeling is like maybe this was the first time he's seeing like a human, and he's like curious about me. But he raises his hand and just takes me. We are starting walking in this desert. I don't see nothing, no tree, no water, no humans. Suddenly there is a tent in the middle of nowhere. And so I said, oh my God, this is great. We have shelter. Now I don't know this kid. What are his parents? Like, what the hell is going on? I was really stressed. So I said, okay, great. You see, we have this tent, and we will have shelter, and maybe his family is there. It looked like a 10 people tent, you know? And so this little child takes me inside this tent. But when I go in, this is not a tent. This is a huge structure, a huge round construction, like with 2 floors.
Like a different realm?
No, it's like, when you hear these experiences where you see a craft, an alien craft that looks maybe small like an orb, but people are taken there, and when they go inside, turns out the dimensions of the craft inside are huge and different. So that was the feeling. Suddenly I was seeing like a huge round place that from the outside looks like a nothing tent, and in the inside there is like a huge ER place. So this place was full of beds, and in each bed there is a woman having birth in different stages. That's why my feeling is, if this is like, I'm talking with my instincts here. I don't really know what's going on. I'm still trying to find answers here. But maybe I am a part, like, from my hybridization program or whatever, because this is also related to my ovulation period. Yeah. So I saw all this bed, like full of women having birth in different stages. Some babies were already born. Uh, and when I learned, like looking to my left, there is like this Lego cube structure and an entity sitting there. It doesn't look human, more like a hologram, some kind of hologram. And he just looks at me and tells me like, we are glad you are here because you're the only one that can help us and save us. And so this child that found me before, he takes my hand again. And when he raises his hand and do like something like this, I see exactly like 2 floors, about 50 beds inside, all the women having birth. And my instinct is just, run and try to help everyone because there was too much screaming and blood and, women having birth. They were in pain. They didn't seem to be like under anesthetics. There were other entities next to those beds. I don't recall if they were grays or what kind of identities were there, but I do recall a praying mantis in that craft. And so I just, I started running. I took everything I saw in, and just approached every single bed and baby to check if they are alive, if they like, and, vital signs, if they need to start labor, well, let's do it, And it was a huge stress. And, at some point, I just come back to bed from this lucid dream, and I'm still paralyzed and in shock. Every time this happens, it takes me quite a time to recover and understand that I was there again, and the pain, and trying to understand what is going on. And there was this time when I woke up from this dream, and after I calmed down, I made some coffee, I'm having a seat, and suddenly I see on my leg a mark. There was just a mark there, very peculiar mark. And so looking for answers, I got to this experiencers UFO page, and I asked if maybe someone have seen a mark like this. And then someone told me, you need to see Terry Lovelace's mark because it looks exactly the same. And so I searched for Terry Lovelace's mark, and I got his x-ray, and man, it's just exactly the same mark. Why did it happen? How did it happen? There was like no cut or something. It's just like a stamp in my leg, and it took about 24 hours to disappear. I checked on myself, maybe I'm having an allergy, but I wasn't having like respiratory issues or another like other signs in my body. Nothing. This was just like a stamp, and it took like 24 hours to disappear. So still looking for answers, when I tell this story, maybe just because in the second floor there were like smoked windows. My feeling is that there were humans there looking at whatever was going on in the ER in the first floor where I was dealing with these women. And so sometimes people tell me, well, maybe this is related to the military abductions, So called My Lab. So I don't know. I don't want to say I know everything. I have all the, I don't. I don't. I'm just sharing my story. And if you find something related or you felt or lived something like this, just let me know because I'm trying to find answers. So that's more or less my story. Now, till now, I'm just a nitty researcher, experiencer, and investigator, and doing everything I can just to work on this disclosure. Not because the alien issue and like all the Hollywood thing. It's just because there is a huge community of experiencers, even suffering from post-trauma disorder because of their experiences. And so talking about this and sharing our stories is the only way we have to understand what is going on and understanding ourselves too, because growing up with this experience, nobody talks about it. At some point you think you're crazy, but this is like a call for me. I cannot stop. It's amazing. I wish I could have a vacation from it, but I can't. It's like I cannot stop. It doesn't stop, you know. So yeah, that's the story.
That's called narrative therapy, telling your story and processing it with other
Right.
people, and that it is helpful. It's evidence based.
TD, I'm going to put you up there. Go ahead.
Yeah. No,
Can I just say, she looks like she could kick butt, and I'll shut up now.
Oh
Yeah. Yeah.
You look were you ever in the Israeli army?
I was. Yes, I was.
Ah,
Kick my butt.
military girls.
Yep.
Yeah, I cannot really talk about it because
Sure.
I was maybe the best way I can say it is kind of intelligence recruited. So I cannot really talk about this, but
That's
yes.
bad.
Um
You're
yeah.
aren't you required to do some military service, Israeli citizens? Is it just the men that are required, or am I wrong together?
No, women too. We are all required to do the IDF unless you have, some kind of problem that you
What is
cannot
IDF?
do it for whatever reason. The Israeli Defense Forces, our
Okay.
army. That's
So that's
the
the
name.
military. Yeah.
I was like, I need
Yeah,
that
sorry.
acronym broke down for me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
different
sorry. No,
everywhere,
it's like, yeah. And so we are all required to do it. And you can end with the service, but still you will always go to reserve. And that's what we are doing now. All our reservists and women and men are right now in the field. And yeah, I cannot be there because I suffer from post-trauma myself. Before
Sure.
coming to Israel, I had like a pretty bad experience. I was raped,
Oh my
and
God.
Yeah.
it's okay. We can talk about it. I have healed. It took a long
Good.
time, but then when I came to Israel I came into Israel in 1999. And in 2001, the second Intifada started. So we had here a lot of suicide, terrorist attacks, and my first roommate died in the spot in one of those terrorist attacks.
I'm so
So
sorry.
I sure hope there was justice
Yeah.
for your attacker. I hope your attacker got justice. I'll leave it at that. That's terrible.
Yeah, you don't have to go
Yeah,
into details, but I'm sorry that happened to you.
God, whatever doesn't kill
it's
you makes you
okay.
strong.
Yeah,
We love you,
it's
Polly.
it's this. Thank you.
We're good, Polly. We love you. We're so happy you're here tonight.
Thank you for sharing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, Danny, are you ready to come up with your
Wasn't
urban legend?
Wasn't it TD's turn? I interrupted. I think it's TD's
No,
turn.
no. I don't think so. No, it's okay.
I'm sorry. I need to
We're
just.
going.
I
boy,
agree with
girl.
Chance. TD should go next. Let's put her back
Okay.
up
Well,
there.
I
TD's
can't.
coming up.
There you go.
TD's coming up.
I meant no disrespect, Dan. I thought I was. I thought I was reeling us back in. I'm sorry, Dan. I meant no disrespect. And I'm just, Polly, you're more man than I am. Thank you for your service, even though I'm not.
What's up,
a
Ricky's
citizen
Radio?
of
Strength
Israel.
is strength, whether
No,
it's
Chance,
gender related or not.
No,
Strength is
Chance,
Chance.
strength,
please
yeah.
say hi to Jerry Dobson.
Chance, I
Hey,
think
Mary
you're brilliant.
Dobson, Nostalgia World Facebook.
Okay. Thank you.
Well, anyway, Chance, I think you're brilliant.
Well, thank you, sir. You too.
Well, I guess I have a lot. I have a lot of things that came up when I saw the first question. So, the first thing I want to talk about is I have real issues like from Girl Scouts and stuff with like the Ouija board and stuff like that. I just don't.
Oh
I don't
my
like to be
God,
around it. I don't like to be around
Yes.
it. Yes.
Agreed, TD.
And I remember too, like being left out because I was religious. I went to church twice a week. My parents didn't even go. They dropped me off. Like my dad dropped me off. I was like Wednesday and Thursday nights, And
we have a
I mean,
babysitter, a free babysitter.
I got confirmed on my own. Yeah, exactly. I got confirmed on my own. And I remember my dad saying, like, I'm so proud of you. I was like, well, this is what you do when you're this age. He's like, but kids don't do it like on their own. Like he was so proud. He's like almost crying, like I decided, I went through, I told him about like when I had to be at church, I just did everything myself. So, but I really I think because I went to a Methodist, I was baptized Lutheran, but then I went to an evangelical church too, which was like down the street, really kind of basically a Christian kind of concept, but a little bit unique. But they did like try to, and I look back now and I see that they definitely like tried to kind of carry over an agenda a little bit, which is kind of weird. But my parents weren't really involved, so they really didn't know. You know what I mean? Like for instance, like we had somebody come in and talk about how abortion is wrong no matter what, and I remember like asking like, well, what if there's a circumstance where there's incest and they're like, no, it's wrong. God has a plan for everyone. I'm like, well, wait a minute, that's like, it was kind of weird. But anyways, and that was church. And I was also a Girl Scout. So the Girl Scout, Girl Scouts, you are self-sufficient. You create like a little bit of a plan, not as much as Boy Scouts, of like survival and all this stuff. And so here I was like, you can make decisions on your own and you can do great things like sell cookies. Just kidding. And a product everyone wants. It's so hard. And then in church, it's like, well, no, this is wrong, no matter what. It's like really like made you kind of, it's a little gaslighting, a little like questioning of, wait a minute. I feel that, and I think that's true. But anyways, regardless of that, I just knew like, and a lot of times in like with evangelical church, like that's we don't do that. Like that's the message is don't conjure up something like that because it's I don't know if there was like something in the Bible or that they related to something. It just you just weren't supposed to do that, So that scared me. And then they would do like the whole like Bloody Mary thing in the mirror. I still to this day can't look at a mirror in the dark. I can't do it.
Oh my
When
God.
I go into the bathroom at night,
Mhm.
when I go into the bathroom at night, I turn my head from the mirror. And
Me too.
I'm not going in there.
Any position in my bedroom cannot
It's
be
probably
like,
really
looking at a
sensitive.
mirror. Mhm.
I was probably still scared in my mid-20s. That's crazy.
Okay, so
Yeah.
light as a feather, stiff as a board. Light as a feather, stiff.
We never got that to work. I was never scared of that one.
Well, I didn't like that either. I didn't like any of the culty kind of things. But also, I was born on Halloween, so like and some of the kids would be like, "Well, yeah, she's probably gonna, like, really
Stiff as a
Yeah.
board. Excuse me. How'd you know?
Light as a feather.
Wow.
too soon."
Wah, wah, wah.
I'm kidding. But like so then I was a little bit, and that was odd. I was like an old soul. I mean, my parents had me when they were like 40, and I came out like singing and dancing. I collected milk glass as a kid. Like I was just weird. So
You
I
like
was
go
in
to the flea market and you're like, oh, milk glass.
that-
Yay.
exactly, and vintage,
It's like that
I
kid,
like vintage clothes and-
avocado.
yeah. Exactly. That's he's so happy. But and I just like I don't know, it's just different. I put on little plays for my neighborhood all the time, and I had a stage in my basement at my house and stuff, and so I was just unique. So I was already like a little bit of an outcast. So when they did all that stuff and I didn't participate, it's like, oh, probably because she was born on Halloween and she has her own experiences. She probably has voodoo dolls of us and blah blah blah. And I'm like, I don't yet. I'm a Scorpio, so we, we're not mean until we have to be. But
Yeah,
and once we are, we look out. But anyways,
we sure can be, right?
yes, yes, especially Scorpio women. We're a tough bunch, but anyways, we're a strong bunch and we're gifts. But anyways, so that was an issue with that whole thing, and I really don't. I mean, I kind of understand it's like probably a subconscious or conscious thing with the Ouija board, or just people messing with you. Although, like, and I watched like like the ghost hunters, which is really just a joke. I mean, these guys have been hunting ghosts for like 12 years, and not a one has been.
Yeah.
They text them even though they're in like they speak German and they're texting them in English. I'm like, come on, come on. There's
Did
actually
you feel those energies around you where you were a child? Like, were you feeling all
icky.
these?
I
Yeah.
felt icky. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I understand.
It's an empath thing, I think. Like that.
Yes. Yeah,
right.
I totally get it. I'm an empath too, like too much
Yes.
empath sometimes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. It's
Yeah.
a blessing and a curse. But that I didn't feel good about that. I didn't feel right about that. Although they say people born on Halloween are not approached by ghosts because we have this veil because we were born in Dias las Muertas, and that ghosts just they don't approach. So I mean, I try to believe it, even if it's not true, just because,
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Every single time I've gone to a psychic reading, they say the same thing. You've got a veil. You have to protect it. Are you a reader? They ask me if I do a psychic, and I say no. And every single time I go to every single like psychic or reading, they ask me that. It's really strange. But
what are you doing in North Carolina? If Mom ask, if you don't mind.
Just for fun with my boyfriend. We're just like, in fact, actually, like after this, I have to go because like we're gonna try to like do a late dinner. But we just wanted to go to the beach, and my kids are going back to school and like they're with their dad this weekend. So we're like, let's just drive to a close beach. So we just came here.
Well, thanks for finding the time to be on the panel in the middle of your vacation.
Yeah, of course, no problem. In fact, my boyfriend's like kind of taking a nap, so I was like, this is a perfect time. It's like absolutely like wonderful, like the timing, because he sleeps.
You wore him out. Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. I don't sleep. I've never been a good sleeper. I don't sleep well. I don't need a lot of sleep. So like he'll like sleep, and he always does this food coma thing. He'll like eat and fall asleep, and I'm like, so I'm like, yeah, I have something to do too before we go somewhere. But anyways,
give up meat now. You don't eat meat, and you have all this energy. So maybe I
eat a lot of. Well, I eat a lot of protein from the earth.
She eats a lot of protein. It doesn't have to be meat just to be protein.
Right? We don't need cow's milk. We need calcium. So there's a bodybuilder, a really good bodybuilder that is vegan. It's really interesting. But anyways, that's beside the point. Okay, so that's the one piece of it. The second piece of it is I just finished The Staircase, the documentary. Have you guys seen that?
No.
Oh, please do, so we can talk about it.
How can we see it?
It's on HBO Max. No, it's on Netflix now, I think.
Okay.
Pretty sure. Yeah.
Thank you.
What's the name again?
It's called The Staircase. And I don't know if people in chat have seen that. If you guys have, let me know. Because so in a nutshell, I'm gonna have to get some water for this because it's gonna be strap in, you guys. I hope you brought a lunch or packed razor. So, and I'm just gonna break it down very, very just kind of in a nutshell. So there was in 2001, this poor woman, Kathleen, was murdered. And according to her husband, at the time, they were very much in love. They were like best friends. They were hanging out by the pool. They have a very beautiful home, very wealthy family. Hanging out by the pool. They had a couple glasses of wine. She went in the house, and there's fountains and stuff. So he did not hear her scream. This is according to his account. He went in the house, and it was just an absolute bloody mess. So, and she was like multiple times bludgeoned over the head. I mean, blunt force trauma was what killed her, and all of his kids, even her, I think, except for one child, because they had a blended family, even her daughters and stuff, I think were pretty much on board for the most part. I might get that wrong, but his kids were very active in his like whole legal process because that was 2001. He, I think it was like 8 years, or no, he did 8 years in prison, like over it before and then he had a trial, and then had a retrial or another trial, and then finally ended where he took an Alford plea in 2017. And you guys know what an Alford plea is? I'm not sure if we have legal people in here. Do you guys know?
I do, but you might want to explain it for the layman.
basically it's kind of saying like I'm going to plead guilty with this, but because maybe the prosecution has enough evidence to maybe prove something, but I'm not saying I did it. So it's really saying our system is kind of messed up. So it's saying like I'm going to say I did it, don't really mean it, but I'm going to do that so I can get my time served and not have to deal with this anymore, basically. So that was that. And I mean, but so this whole staircase documentary, I mean, they started filming right when everything was going down, and they filmed right up until the point where he said, I'm taking this out for plea, and did it in court. So that's 16 years. This has been like, I mean, his attorney was working with him, and then he also lost his home. I mean, he had like 300,000 that he gave up for like bond and stuff. He had to be indigent or whatever because he couldn't pay his attorney anymore, who worked very hard. I mean, he's the reason why this man is free. Basically, he really was a very proactive attorney, defense attorney. But so there are these. Okay, so after this wasn't even mentioned in the documentary. But one of the theories is, and you guys, it's so bizarre, I even feel weird even saying it. One of the theories is that she was attacked by an owl. I swear to you. Like the way that the scratches were and the blood splatter and all the, the blunt force and all that, they think an owl got in there and attacked her and she died. So that's just, how do we not have closure and not know that? Like how do her poor kids like not know exactly what happened? So if you look up the owl theory, it's bizarre, but it does kind of make sense, So I don't know. I'm gonna check chat. You guys still there?
Yeah, we're here, TD.
Okay. I just nobody's saying anything. I'm like, I don't know what's going on.
I was Googling,
Yeah.
but that means I'm listening.
Okay, good. But you would like it too, Snarky. I know you would. But and it's the beginning, of course, it's really like a lot of legal jargon and like kind of like where, I want to say he somehow there's filmmakers within the family or something, because they did document this from the get-go. And he still stands firm to his and there's so much evidence that was like just like not properly stored. There's some ethical stuff. There's like one guy that testified about blood splatter that was he did a reenactment that was like laughable. I mean, it wasn't even relevant to like, I mean, it was really, really unique. But yeah, and I'm curious to see like if you guys, after you watch it, what maybe that could be our book club thing or something. But I need to talk to somebody about it. But I need to know, like, too, I want to get some opinions about what you guys think. And then also because the reason why I read about this too, that they did not include the owl theory, it was because it was not brought up in court, because that was definitely a later theory, especially with, even think from 2001 to 2017, the dynamic like technology advances we've experienced, with DNA, with like ancestry stuff, with just like even like the field of like blood splatter experts, stuff like that. We've really come a long way. So a lot of things have shifted, changed. And you know what? Can they go back and look at evidence? No, because they contaminated it, so.
Oh, yeah.
That's not fair.
Or they lost it, or any number of other things,
I mean, just absolutely careless. Like they had stuff. So they had movers come and move stuff because they moved like offices or something or agencies, and they had movers come and all like there was evidence from other cases that were like included with this. So now it's completely contaminated, and it includes evidence that's not even related. And then the other, who knows what happened to the other poor person's case, like with their evidence, and then it's just, that was a big fat mess for sure. Yeah.
That's for another channel.
It definitely is, but it is definitely an unsolved mystery. And I really think about it a lot, especially because it's very fresh. I just finished it. Cause I watched it kind of in spurts, like when I was doing laundry and stuff. Cause it's not like it is kind of like a Bender type of show, but like at the same time, it's a little boring, like slow moving, unless you really love true crime.
That was the one I was going to pull up too. Has anyone had an out-of-body experience?
Oh, that's a good
I think I'm having one right now.
Oh, did I make Danny speechless? Did this really happen?
I got admonished by Mushroom Annie for being a creeper. Sorry about that. I was just trying to tell a joke.
Oh, come on,
Earlier.
please.
But Jerry Dobson on Facebook asked that question.
What question?
Anyone have an out of body experience? I've had 3
good question.
in my lifetime so far. Wow.
Well, I don't know if my lucid dream is an out of
I
body
would say, yeah.
experience.
I would say the
Right?
sleep paralysis. Yeah, I would say sleep paralysis
Yeah.
is definitely. Yeah.
Well, I mean, a lucid dream is a dream.
Well,
Okay.
but you're kind of.
I mean,
feeling like
I'm
you're
not
dead,
saying that you can just automatically tell them apart, whether you've just had a dream or an out of body experience. I'm just saying that those two things are definitely different.
especially when hers is like a
Hi,
string
Rome.
of like continuations of that. It's like a series.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
I mean,
Mhm.
yeah, and it really plays like a legitimate, stereotypical hero story kind of thing. You know, it plays like literature.
Mhm.
Yes.
That is really interesting for a dream, but that comes from the lucid part. You know, it's your actual
But-
brain making that into that.
Well,
Lovely.
she's so affected by the experience too. You know,
Mhm.
that's why it's like a PTSD symptom in addition to, you know,
PTSD
like
comes with dadgum, very vivid dreaming. Yeah.
absolutely.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes,
Or
it
flashbacks,
is.
yeah.
It's really traumatic. All that situation was really traumatic
Right.
in the
And I don't know
ER.
about the
Yeah.
like where you know about
when you have PTSD, you don't call them things we have dreams. You call them night terrors. Let me tell you about it.
Yeah, night terrors for
Or
sure.
flashbacks.
You don't have dreams like
Nightmares.
normal people. You have
They are
horrible,
night.
horrible nightmares.
You're affected. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I have a
Trust
I
me, I
actually
know.
Mhm.
I have a emotional support animal. She's a cute little pug that's under me. If you hear snoring, that's from my emotional support animal.
Oh yeah, my cats too.
It's a metronome.
They feel my soul so strongly. Like my
Mhm,
cats
absolutely.
feel my heart. They won't leave me. They are on me
Mhm.
all the time.
Hi,
Whenever they feel
Rome.
my
That's how my cat
yeah, it's
Charlotte is. Oh my
amazing.
god.
Yeah.
So Zombie says they used to fly in their dreams.
He used to fly.
Oh,
Well,
yeah. I had
Yeah.
several where I was on the back of a big old kite. And at
It wasn't
first,
a kite,
I
it
was
was
just
a
on the
plane.
kite and someone was flying it. But then they let go or something, and I'm flying. I'm trying to steer this thing, and it's going great, and I'm real happy. And then it wasn't going great anymore. Oh, yeah. Oh, boy.
You can meditate and have an out of body experience.
Yeah,
Yeah, I've done that
absolutely.
meditating.
Train your
I've
brain.
done it meditating, yeah.
Well, my father told me once because at some point I just needed to talk to someone, you know, and my
do.
father was mentioning like this kind of presence in the third floor of our house. And so
Oh wow.
we talked about it, and he told me like, you know, once he told me like he was sitting let's say in his place with his sister, and his sister was talking to their mother, which means my grandmother. Okay. But my father suddenly felt like his soul was getting out from his body
Oh
and
gosh.
got to the city where my grandmother was. So he was next to my grandmother in other city, next to my grandmother, while he was sitting next to his sister in Bogota. And he didn't understand how the hell this happened, but he had a few more experiences like this. Till the third experience, he couldn't find his way back to his body. And
Oh my
that
god,
was
like
really
soul snatching
stressful.
kind of like
Yes,
yeah.
that was really
Ooh.
stressful for him. And
Sure.
that's the point that he said, okay, like I'm not doing this anymore. But he was having that kind of experiences that was so interesting.
Wow.
Yeah.
Huh.
I see Danny Staten. Oh, I did. Psych.
Peter asked if I fell to the ground. I think that was directed at me. And yeah, but I didn't not hit the ground, fall to the ground, of course, because most people they they don't hit the ground. They always wake up before, you know, for
Typically,
whichever reason, having to do with your limbic system and stuff. But yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's
and then I
true.
woke the heck up. He was like, "Oh, gee, oh, like I do a lot."
Yeah, that's true. It happens to me
Yep,
too.
it's
That's
a very
true.
common experience. You
Chance,
know,
will
the
you read
falling
Jerry
and
Dobson? Oh, thank you. Chance, you're on it. Amazing co-host tonight.
Sure. Jerry Dobson, watching on Facebook Live, asks, mine were actually out of body experiences, not a dream, because when you wake up from a dream and you go out of your out of your daily business, or mine felt like someone had punched me in the back each time. By the time I would have the out of body experience, I would go back to my childhood home and see my dad. But the only thing he would say to me is, "What are you doing here? It's not your time yet."
Oh my
That sounds like a
god!
Twilight Zone, a classic Twilight Zone
Holy
episode, but
crap!
real. Wow, what a cool experience. So I assume your
Did you
dad is
see
gone,
like a
obviously.
white light before that or something? Was there like a white light that people talk about it in a near death experience?
Have you guys
Good
watched the
question.
show that
Jerry,
Morgan Freeman has about the people that have had near death experiences or have actually died and came back? It is fascinating. I forget what the series is called. Something about God or something, like finding God or something like that. But it's really profound. It's very, very deep.
Right.
I read that
Yeah.
horribly, but you get the drift. He saw his dad.
I-
His dad told him it's not your time. That's the
Yep,
point.
because usually people come to help cross you over. That's typically what they say, that someone will be there to help you kind of transition.
Exactly.
so my friend, my new friend that I found on the feed down there, High Not to Laugh.
Mhm.
He's saying that
Oh,
he
are they in
was
the
thinking,
chat?
yeah, he's here.
Okay, I want to interrupt.
Or they're here. You're right, there, because there's two of them. I'm not sure which one's talking.
Jason and Craig, right? Okay. I want to interrupt. Hold on, guys. I am so sorry. Hi,
You're
Danny.
fine.
Cool.
Okay, hold on. I have to interrupt because I have to do this.
It's time for.
Time? Yeah, hold on. I'm getting there, Snarky. Mm.
Yay!
Hi, Not to Laugh. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining us.
And thanks
We
for
would
being so
really,
interactive
really,
in our chat.
really-
We appreciate it.
Yeah, we would really, really, really love to include you in this community. So please join our community.
Yeah, we should have a no, we can't do that. I don't think. Not without.
Well-
Nope,
Read that comment.
I can't.
I have never had an out of body experience, and I had open heart surgery. I was kind of wondering if it would have happened, and if it did, I don't remember anything.
See, that's probably a possibility. I mean, you have to stay open to all the possibilities.
Right.
Here's something for you. I have been legally dead 3 times in my life. One time for almost
This
2.
trucker Mac Daddy dude here.
Yeah, and one time for almost 2 minutes. And I'm really disappointed. I remember no light, no other side, nothing happening. I don't even remember nothing. I don't remember even
Wow.
darkness, just nothing, no memory whatsoever. So if there is an afterlife and you can't go to the other side, as usual, I got screwed.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, but you've seen Bigfoot, so
Yeah, but that would be better to know what was on the other side, wouldn't it?
Well, maybe Bigfoot will help you cross over. I'm just kidding.
Hi, K Moonin.
the universe chose for you.
Pleasant dreams, K Moonin.
Actually, I saw a lot of weird stuff in my life. You know, my mom was a paranormal investigator, and when I was a kid,
Oh, I
she
didn't
would
know that.
actually take me on investigations with her to haunted houses when I was 8 years old and stuff. And it was really an interesting youth.
Yeah, I'm sure.
She was a photographer, but she was going on paranormal investigations trying to catch pictures of ghosts for magazines and stuff.
Interesting. That's very cool. Very
A
cool.
lot of her stuff was funded by Life magazine back in the late 60s,
Wow,
early
that's
70s.
impressive. Yeah.
And
She
then
must have
after
been
that,
some kind of like, I mean, she must have been pretty amazing.
well, she did a lot of photography. She was actually one of the few female photographers that actually went to Vietnam and took pictures
Wow.
during the war, you know.
That's wow. That's incredible.
Yeah. But later on, I think it was 1974, she quit with all the traveling so much and took a
It's
job
scary, right?
with wrestling companies doing publicity shots and booklets and
Oh,
a
that's
lot
how
of
you got into it then.
wrestling stuff. Yeah. She did a lot of
Interesting. I love
like
he says
sports,
wrestling.
like
I love
Wrestling
it.
Illustrated and stuff. There's this guy named Bill Apter. He did a wrestling magazine, and he kind of bought all her pictures and took credit for them.
Wow. Oh, you should share those sometime, like sometime
Yeah.
soon. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have
I'll be
mountains.
right back, guys.
I would
I'll
love to
Right.
see that.
Chance, are
Okay,
you there? Okay,
I'm
I'll
here.
be right back.
I got your back.
You guys, I
thanks.
have to go. I
Have
have
a
to
nice
go get
break.
food. I'm starving. So.
No, my mom just needs me real quick to check.
Oh, okay. I'll cover.
Well,
Bye, TD. Thanks for joining.
No
Bye,
problem.
TD.
Bye. I'll
Bye,
replay and
TD.
tomorrow I'll be on Lobo's
Thank you
panel too.
so
I'm excited.
much.
So
I
bye.
know. I'll
Huge
see you
love
tomorrow,
and nice
TD.
to meet you.
You too, Polly. Thanks for joining us for sure. And bye,
We love you,
Kevin
TD.
RJ. Love you too, and we miss my flock for sure. But I'll see you guys soon.
Absolutely.
Bye, Danny.
Happy
Huge
trails.
hug.
Bye.
Bye.
You too. Bye, chat and replay crew. Bye. See you guys.
Jerry Dobson says, yes, both of my parents died in
I'm going to
1982.
run, get me another drink real quick, Chance. I'll be right back.
Okay, I'll just read some comments here. Jerry Dobson sadly said both of his parents died in 82. I don't know if that was an accident or what. I was just thinking about 1982 today because I went to the oh my gosh. I can't believe I'm forgetting. The World's Fair. The World's Fair in Knoxville, Tennessee in 1982. That's what it was. The World's Fair. They don't have those anymore. You guys remember the World's Fair? I'm not trying to go off topic. Can you hear me?
Yes, but no.
Oh, the World's Fair was great. All right. Well, I won't go on. We're talking about paranormal. Let me read some more comments here. Esmeralda saying goodbye to Kay Moonen. Sleep well. Now, Chrissy, who is tending to her mom right now, commented, I dreamed I was in an accident once and my mom caused it and I laid slowly suffering for days. Wow.
That's some issues that you was working out.
You know, and you can sometimes have premonition in dreams. You can see the future. And I believe
Part of that's part of the things I'm going to say on mine, I guess.
And deja vu. Deja vu could be a vision of the future or an alternate lifeline.
Yeah. I mean, and somebody would
story?
counter that with the scientists have done the stuff and they figured out what deja vus are. So nanny boo boo. But here's what I'm saying. That could just be the mechanism or the thing, the mechanism, because our brains, here I go. I pretty much believe and know that I know I don't know. Neither do y'all. Nobody knows why their life's great mystery. Why there's that in us about, oh, I saw a Sasquatch. Oh, that was an alien. Whatever it is,
Yeah.
Humans are just made for this, We are curious and driven. Right. It's so what else?
Well, we only
This is
tap
so hard.
into a small percentage of our brain's capacity. If we could tap into
No,
more.
that's not true. That is scientifically proven not true. You use your whole brain, otherwise, why would it be there? But you only use it goes from spot to spot, okay? At a time right now in the very now of the now. While you're doing what you're doing, okay, never mind. Get me off of here before I faint.
I think we might be able to have mind over matter if we tapped into 100%. We might.
Yeah.
We could move objects with our minds.
Why would we have so much DNA? Why? Why would we have so much DNA that we don't use? there's
And yeah,
yeah.
confused and
I
don't
think
even
from
know.
the origination of the human, we'll say we have been damaged. We have been, as a species, almost completely eliminated many times. I mean, down to as low as 100, 1,000 people.
And that's just the people that eat Taco Bell.
Way less than that, Snarky. Way less
You
than
know,
that.
just tiny. But here we are, all kabillions of us later, because of inbreeding, incest, and stuff. And that is one of the reasons why the religions will say, oh, that's just wrong. You know, so that's in us. There is a physiological, like our body knows we're not supposed to do that shit too. You know, that's why they do that, because when in times when there's only 100 people, everybody's reproducing no matter what.
Yeah.
So that's happening, and it becomes the way it is. And then somebody goes, whoa, look at the specimens we're getting. And they go, oh, God said, let's not do that.
You're not supposed to have sex with a monkey. Yeah, I know. I mean, there could be species breeding, for goodness sakes. It really
and stuff, right? The inbreeding, you know, and mutations. That's what the whole evolution and it's everywhere. You know, we live underneath this sun that is absolutely corroding all of our DNA every second we're under
the
it.
additives in our food. The additives in our food. Hey,
you know, and then
Peter,
yep.
Go ahead. Peter
Right.
Sky Parker.
Yeah, the stuff we're doing to ourselves.
Yeah. Peter
Yeah.
Sky Parker says, have you ever had a dream that lasted days? I've had reoccurring dreams. You know, I dream.
I've had continuations.
Weeks or days or months later or years later. I'm like, oh, you know, and the obvious one is you go to school with no clothes on. How many times have you had that dream?
You know, I'm 56 years old and I still end up back in high school because somebody made a clerical error and I got to go get that dang diploma.
Oh.
I hate that.
Oh, man.
What is that when you feel like you're pretending and everyone else is believing? Imposter syndrome. I think that might be me saying I don't quite believe I am what some people think I am. Maybe.
But have you seen a UFO in your life? Have you ever seen something you could not explain in the sky?
Everybody sets up okay.
Right out the back porch in this daggum house, so it's got to have been like maybe a year. It could have been 2 years ago. I've got brain damage, and that's part of the reason I'm. Hey, from now on, somebody has to talk to me the way Chance is doing, because then I can keep going. But you know.
So what
that
did you
gummy.
see? Do you remember?
But,
do you remember the shape
where
of
we
the
at?
craft?
Oh yeah, UFO. Yeah, I stepped out because I step out all the time. I made several videos on TikTok right in the back door. I'm sitting out there one day. I look, and there's, you know, off the clearance from the trees. Okay, and perfect. I can tell that it was 1, 2, 3, 3 or 4. I don't exactly remember, and that's the other part of the brain damage. I don't remember a lot of stuff specifically, but I'm looking at them with my eyeballs, and each one of them it's like just kind of, I don't know how big it was because you can't. There was no way to tell how far away or what was going on. But it was one, then another one, then another one, and they did get smaller, so I could tell they were further away. I don't know how big it was, but it was mostly just a shine, right? So like a roundish shape, lots of shine, white shine, and then a rainbow nest, you know, like in the shine, like iridescence or opalescence, you know, like there was rainbowy. And so I was like, I'm a YouTuber, TikToker. Here's the phone. No. I take the video. And I'm just like going, oh my God, y'all, it was a beautiful. I get the video, and you can't see the rainbow.
You recall getting a kind of message or changing the temperature around you, everything going
No, it did not feel any kind of supernatural. It did not. I mean, I can't even say it felt like a UFO. I didn't know what it was, so technically it was a UFO. It was an unidentified flying object, all three of them. But it's possible it could have been, I mean, more than likely Occam's razor. It was a weather thing. Not too far from an air base. It's actually in the other direction, but you know, there's things that could have been. So it wasn't just outrageous. You know, nothing was just like hovering. Now, when I first started doing live streams, I don't know, a little way into it, every time I'd be up on panel, a UFO would start going wah 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 wah. You can only hear it. That's a joke. I'm just teasing. I had something was weird with the microphone on that phone, and it would always sound like a UFO was trying to get me, and I would be like, going, "Oh, you know, it's a joke. If you know, you know." Kick. Anyway, yeah, you know, I used to stand at the end of my driveway as a child. I mean, from 7 on, stand at the end of my driveway as late at night as they'd let me because I loved looking at the stars. And I was all as soon as I could read, I was reading everything, and I was.
Well, driveway. There you go.
All I heard was.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just thinking out loud.
Well, I was going to ask Snarky, have you ever seen a living ghost before?
A living ghost? That sounds like an oxymoron.
It is one. Ghosts aren't living, dude. They're dead. They're ghosts.
They're dead.
Right.
I see dead people. Like that movie guy.
I've had lots of spiritual-based, supernatural kind of things happen. That could have totally all just been in my head, or some crazy stuff just happened. I don't know. I can't tell some of it. I can't remember some of it. But yeah, I did see a crazy thing. Growing up in there was a hallway straight away from the living room, right in the chair where we sit, right? So like you could look and you saw straight down the hallway. And one day, there, right down about halfway down the hallway, there was a set of legs, like Beetlejuice, no top. You know what I mean? There was a set of legs in like men's pants, and I went, and it walked and it turned and it went into my mom's room. And if you know me, you also know I'm stupid brave. And so I was like, "Whoa, dude, what is that?" I'm going down the hall. I step into my mom's room and I look at her bed.
Oh my God.
There. With her legs off. And the top half of it was sitting over there. Beetlejuice had not been made yet. It was not a thing. It wasn't in my head. But the other half of the person, I'm having trouble now remembering what sex they were or anything. The memories getting, all my memories are I'm probably going to be one of them ladies. Somebody comes, "Mildred, do you want to play checkers?" "No, I don't remember how." Y'all just keep an eye on me and love me no matter what, okay? Anyway. But yeah, like it was just so there was the top half was sitting up by the pillow, and at that point, because anyway, at that point I was just like scared syphilis, and
syphilis.
I don't really remember what happened afterwards. I probably ran the fuck out of there screaming for my sister or my mom or something,
You got the beat out of there.
Did I beat?
You dropped an F-bomb. It's okay. You can't help it.
Sorry, I really do try. I really try. I named my stream. I'm trying not to cuss.
You're the sweetest.
Your audio is breaking up, so you couldn't hear it that clearly. Now you sound better.
But
when you move
I
around,
I named my stream. I'm trying not to cuss.
That's right.
Every single Saturday.
But your people expect and demand you to cuss, so I know it's tough, right?
They're down there taunting me sometimes.
And we're
Manny was down there a
simul-screaming.
minute ago. He's like, try not to cuss, huh?
Ah,
I love my precious little weirdos.
Honestly, I consider it like a constant contest between Snarky, Chance, and me on who's going to say the most messed up stuff.
that's true. I've already said several
By
things to
far,
make
Chance,
people wrong.
you're winning.
Yeah, I know. I really I regret. Keebler says I've seen both my stepmom and grandma standing in my trailer talking to me. I was asleep, but I woke up immediately and they were still there for a couple of minutes.
I saw a
Yeah,
split.
like when my stepmom and my mom both went, I mean, they didn't die close to each other, but they were both gone. And really, I just now had a flash. I think I did this with some of my grandparents too. I would just, I felt like they haunted me. And when I was awake, they weren't floating, on above my bed or anything. But every time I go to sleep, it seemed like, or a lot of times I'd have these dreams that were just so weirdly real. And there they were, and whatever happened in whatever situation. I mean, there's so many. There's no even point even trying to tell one of them, because that's not really the part that matters. I know that your brain's doing a lot when you're grieving,
Yeah.
And as time went on, I hardly ever, now I still will once in a while. Everybody seems to still pop up once in a while, but hardly ever really compared to how much it used to happen. When I was younger, I could have convinced myself of all kind of stuff at that point. Like Manny, I think it was Manny that said earlier that he swears it feels like maybe he is really dreaming the future or dreaming or he really, because he'll dream of someplace he's never been, and then he'll be somewhere and go, holy crap, this is where I was, in that dream.
Yeah.
Wow.
That kind of stuff. Yeah, that I have had prophetic dream. And if it could happen, I probably had most of it. And I just go, I know I don't know. And neither do you.
I like
The
that.
human brain is
You need to do some
so
cartoon-
complicated.
You need to get an agent and do some cartoon voiceover work. I love that laugh.
I've been working on trying my vocal cords since I had vocal cord damage. And so I've been like trying to work on it to where I could start doing some voices and stuff again. I used to be doing it all the time, but I don't hardly ever break one out now because sometimes, I mean,
Professionally or just for fun?
no, dude, I do everything for free. I live for y'all to love and laugh. I love it.
We had a question. It went away. Where did it go?
Sorry.
BBB, is mom okay?
No, BBB took over her own channel, and I lost my play.
I brought it back up, Chance.
Okay. Well, it's a comment. A ghost
Okay.
cannot hurt you unless you allow yourself to become afraid, says Esmeralda
That's
in
cool.
Washington State.
You never saw Poltergeist?
Oh, that came up on
Boy, I
BK
watched
show
all
and
of
BK on
them.
the air today.
A
They
ghost
use real cadavers in the pool scene. Did you know
a
that?
ghost
In the pool?
mess you up, whether you believe in it or not.
Yeah.
You don't
I
have
don't
to
believe
believe.
in Bigfoot,
You
but
broke
he
up.
believes
What did
in
you
you.
Hey, I
I couldn't hear you, Danny. You broke up. What'd you say?
We gotta bring Danny up.
Please.
Yeah.
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 Snarky, you're still there. I got you on the side, babe. You're still there.
Yes. Okay, it's my turn, right?
It's your
Yes.
turn, baby.
Yeah.
Everyone give Danny a round of applause.
So I'm gonna do y'all something I don't never do. Hardly ever.
Go.
Hi, Danny.
So I'm sitting here at the show, and it wasn't what I was expecting, because I was kind of expecting from the text I got that we were going to be talking about urban legends. The stuff that's not necessarily real. Like like the old urban legend here in South Carolina, when you hear the whippoorwill, and
Yeah.
that means that somebody's going to die. You don't want to hear a whippoorwill. It's a bad omen.
Can I ask you, is that the in the John Anderson song.
As a matter of fact,
the wind blow like it's never gonna blow again. And he talks about the whisper will.
yeah, well, there's an old legend with the old people, you know, the real old people, that you don't want to hear the whisper wheels. So when you do, somebody's going to die. And in my life, I've heard whisper wheels 4, maybe 5 times. And on a couple of them occasions, somebody did pass away. So there you go. But whether it's real or not, I'm not going to say. It's an old wise tale, like throwing your salt over your shoulder to keep the evil spirits off your back. You know, there's thousands of urban legends out there. I heard her talking about the chatting something in a mirror. Like, I always say Candyman, but it's something else.
But yeah, Candyman and Bloody Mary.
Bloody Mary's the real one.
Yeah.
Candyman's the Hollywood one.
Yeah, exactly. But it's the
You
same
know,
concept.
anybody that believes Candyman's real, it's a movie made up thing. It's based on Bloody Mary thing.
It's based on Bloody Mary. Yeah, absolutely.
But once again, you're talking urban legends.
Yes.
And then everybody started out, and it's all been kind of like their true life experiences with UFOs and their true life experiences with ghosts and stuff. And
right.
It kind of just give me a brain stroke. You know,
Yeah.
I was going to talk about urban legends, but y'all
Go
talking
ahead.
about y'all was talking about some real shit. I mean, real
We're
stuff.
talking about
right?
real stuff. We're talking
Real
about real stuff, Danny.
Yeah, you know, and it just kind of give me a flashback and a story I don't normally tell, but I've told it on a couple of live streams, and I thought I'd tell it on this one. And I'm going to tell this story, and then I'm going to shut up. But my story goes back to when I was a kid. Like I said earlier, my mom was a photographer, right? And like a little kid, want to be like your mom because she takes pictures. I got me the famous C110 camera that was talked about earlier with the built-in flash. Not the cheap one. Not the cheap one. Not the cheap one you had to use outside. They got me the good one that cost like a few extra dollars with the old built-in flash. Remember the built-in flash? Every time you took a picture, it flashed whether you wanted it to or not because you couldn't cut it off.
Danny, can I tell you one quick thing? I'll do this in the podcast. You said built-in flash. I got to quickly tell this. I was the stock boy at Big B drugstore, and there was a blooper. I was a stock boy, and I would put the little weekly sale, little like squares on the products that were on sale. And there was a mess up, and it said Big B brand panty liners with built-in flash.
And now that's actually a thing.
Flash on the camera, but they put it on the panty line. And I got on the Jay Leno show with that. They would do not headlines. I think it was headlines, not headlines, but they did a segment. I think it was headlines.
When they'd be article titles and whatnot.
Or there would be misprinted things, and I got on the air, and it made Jade Leno crack up. I'm going to put that on the Podblast. I have that on video. I need to transfer that digital. I'll put it on the next Podblast Friday night. Anyway, but it was funny. Big B brand panty liners, which are maxi pads with built-in flash. Okay, continue.
Built-in
Never
flash.
heard that one.
You're down there taunting me, trying to get me to cuss.
Yeah, no.
Peter, we don't
cuss. Peter, we don't
I was
cuss
trying
on
earlier.
here.
I was trying earlier to get her to cuss when she's talking about the kites.
Yeah, I saw you
said,
trying to
for you
poke,
you do.
poke
I
Snarky
couldn't
to get
even
her
get
to
a
cuss.
rise out of her tonight. She's on fire.
Yeah, I know. I saw you trying to poke Snarky and get her going.
Snarky.
Wholesome.
Heck is,
I-
and I'm not even
Sasquatch.
snarky tonight. I'm a Sasquatch.
Sasquatch. You're
I'm
a
watching you.
We've been getting along. We've been getting along really good ever since we joined.
I think we figured it out.
We got to
I'm
step
glad.
on flat earthers.
I'm so glad because, like, you two are amazing, and you should just, get along.
Apparently, we're probably related, more than likely.
Yeah, and that's why y'all both the same way.
Oh God! Don't say.
It's a
I don't know
Sunday
if I
night.
was complimented or insulted just now. I got to think
All right,
about that
so
for a little
You
bit.
two know, you just don't want to say.
Story. Let's hear Danny's story. I'm waiting.
Okay.
And Chance just looks so cute with that wig on. Like, it's
I don't know.
adorable.
Chance broke my concentration with his wig. But
I know, right? Okay.
it looks
Go
like
ahead,
Paul
Danny. We're
Stanley.
listening. I'm going to mute up so that you could speak.
Well, anyway, like I said, I got the famous C110 camera in 1976, and I was like really cool with it. It was at Christmas, and it just turned 76. I took a lot of pictures. I decided I was going to be a nature photographer. All my family had always been hunters, And I got where I want to take a picture of an animal, like a squirrel or a rabbit or a whatever animal I come across on my daily hikes through the woods. I take a picture, you know. With my little cheap 110 camera, they didn't come out too good most of the time. I wasn't old enough
Yeah,
for the
that was
35
crappy film.
lens and all that good stuff at that time. I was only 11 years old. And to me, going hiking in the woods and taking pictures of animals by myself was a big thing. You know, back then I wasn't allowed to take guns unless my grandpa or my dad was with me because I was only
Safety
11,
rule.
you know. But a lot of kids my age at 11 were taking their shotgun and going hunting because I live in South Carolina. It wasn't an odd thing for young people to have guns back then. But I never will forget this day. It was the July 4th week of 1976. And I started out early that morning and went on like a 5 mile hike deep into the woods. I mean, real deep. Even though I was on the outskirts of town, I was skirting around the outskirts of town on a hiking trail.
Right.
And I got off the trail and I went down through the creek. And as I went down through the creek, I found some really cool deer tracks. And I thought, well, I'm going to track these deers down and get some pictures of the deers, right? So I was creeping down through the creek bed with my little camera, going to take pictures of the deer or the squirrels or whatever I saw. And as I come to this clearing where the creek had a big bank you could walk up on, I stepped up on the bank to kind of get away from the water a little bit. My feet were getting wet. And as I stepped up on the bank, there was this hill that went straight up. And between me and the top of the hill, there was these things called brambles. I don't know if you know what a bramble is. Does anybody know what a bramble is? I bet Snarky knows. It's a bush that has these great big giant thorns on them and little teeny ugly flowers. Little yellow and black ugly flowers with gigantinormous thorns. And there was these bramble bushes all up this hill. You really couldn't get through there. It was like 50 yards of barbed wire. And
Wow.
as I got to the top of the bank of the creek and looked up the hill, I saw what I thought at the corner of my eye was a bear. Wow. And I said, oh boy, I'm going to get a picture of a bear. So I got my camera ready. And as I looked up and started to bring the camera up, I was like, I can't say that on here, but anybody knows what WTF means. And that was exactly what my young ass said. I said, what is this? And as I looked, I saw this large, hairy.
Watch it. Watch it.
How to explain what I was seeing would be, if you watch the old movies and saw the way they did up cavemen or Neanderthals, kind of cover it with hair. You ever seen Quest for Fire? This low brow,
Donna Ray
flat
Chong. Yeah. Chong's dog.
it's low brow, flat nose look, kind of Aborigines in the face, but completely covered in hair, like a giant, massive gorilla with a kind of semi-human face, looking down the hill at me. And for a minute, I just looked up at it, and I could tell, I really could, that because it was way up on the hill and looking out over the area, and I was down in the hollow on that creek bed, this thing couldn't see me. I could see it, but it couldn't see me.
Wow.
And I was at like a 55 to 60 degree angle looking up. So I could just see its face. I couldn't tell you the shape of its head. I couldn't tell you from the waist down on kind of the brambles what it looked like. I was only seeing from the waist up, its arms and its face. I'm pretty sure it was male. But as I thought back over the years with the large protruding breast area, it could have been a female. But it was short, fur-looking hair like you'd see on a short dog hair, kind of fur. It did not look like the hair you hear about. It looked like fur. And this thing was just standing there looking. And I looked up, and my dumb ass held the camera up and snapped the picture. And when I did, the flash went off. And it just dropped its head and looked straight at me. It made this awful growly noise, like, "Brrr." When it did, I'm not ashamed to say it, even though I slightly am. I did piss myself. I urinated because I was 11 years old and it scared me worse than anything that ever scared me in my life. At my 11-year-old young age, I was looking up the hill and seeing a real monster. To me, at that age, Bigfoot was something you saw on Saturday morning with Bigfoot and Wild Boy. Bigfoot was a movie monster you saw in a theater. It wasn't real. It was like Frankenstein, the Wolfman, or Dracula. It was a movie monster. It was not real. If you understand what I'm saying.
Yes, sir.
At that young age, I had not seen In Search Of. I had not seen the shows that talk about this being a real creature. That come out a year later. But at that time, I had not seen them shows. And to me, I was seeing a monster. So I turned and I ran. I ran as fast as I could. And as I ran, I knew that there was a field of brambles between me and it. It would hurt itself trying to get through them brambles. So I run down the creek bed back towards the highway and the road. It was a long ways to that road. But I made it to the road and I could hear it growling and grunting. At one point, I stopped on the road when I finally made it to catch my breath and look back. And just as I looked back, I saw trees, big trees getting snapped and brought to the ground. And then I run home and cried and told everybody about it. And people thought I was a crazy kid, except for my grandpa. Now, to take note that my grandpa was the chief of police of the town. And he had reports of this before. He believed me and told me it was a real thing and went back with guns with me. And the place where I'd seen the thing, we found large human-like footprints. And there was an actual police report filed even in 1976. So this is a documented case of my sighting by police at the time. But there was a year of torture I went through at school when I told people about it because the kids thought I was crazy. And they teased me and they made jokes and made fun of me, and it was really uncomfortable. But the one thing I will say is it's like a year later, In Search Of come out. Leonard Nimoy talked about it. Everybody liked Leonard Nimoy. Everybody loved Mr. Spock. And people come up and told me they were sorry. They didn't know it was real and blah, blah, blah. So there was a certain comeback of happiness when it did come out that this was a real thing.
Satisfaction. Yeah.
But that's what happened to me when I was a young person.
Wow,
I'm
what a
sorry they were
story.
mean to you, Danny. Bullies suck.
I love that story,
Amazing.
Dave.
But it changed my life forever because I knew monsters was real at a really young age.
Right.
And it might have been a female, like you said.
Yeah, I had a big breastplate.
Well, like I said, I couldn't see from the waist down. And over the years, I thought about it, and it did seem that it was really enlarged in the breast. And you know, I went in the woods, I hunted, I did stuff for 40 years in the woods. And it was only like 4 years ago that I was in the woods and saw something else similar to that. And I saw this, but what I saw the second time, 40 years later, would look more like a Chewbacca from Star Wars. It was all covered in long furry hair and running through the woods. And I don't know what the heck that thing was. I don't know.
But didn't even come close to scaring you like you did when you were as a boy.
I don't know if it was a Bigfoot or something else. I didn't see its face. I only saw it from the rear, but I did get a good look at its ass and its junk. It was definitely male. It was no doubt it was a male.
Ass?
It's Joe's fault. I'm not going to go into that. But
Instead
of the first thing I did when I saw it was look and check out his junk to see if it was a man or a woman.
I would have run.
Yeah. That's why I was looking.
This is years later when I had a YouTube channel. I didn't run. I took my gun out, held a camera in one hand, and chased the damn thing through the woods on video.
Wow.
You can see it on my YouTube. You can see that on my YouTube channel, the Daddy Dan Blog. My dumb ass chasing Bigfoot through the woods, trying to get him on video.
That's a great story.
Wow.
Thank you for sharing.
Wow, story.
But
Thank you so
everything
much
I've
for
done,
sharing.
everything I've done, paranormal wise and investigative wise, over the last 4 years, I put on YouTube. And there's been cases where I've saw stuff I think was a demon. I've caught it on video. It's on YouTube. I went on an investigation where somebody said they saw a dog man, and I saw this god awful thing. It looked like the werewolf from American Werewolf in London, like a big mutant wolf. And I got it on video, and it's on YouTube under the Palmetto Dogman videos. You can see that. I was doing a video about a mill they were shutting down. Nothing to do with cryptids whatsoever. And I'm like, this old mill, they're going to renovate it and turn it into apartments and whatever. It was just a mill video about an old mill. And I got home, I put it up on YouTube, and 30 minutes after I put it up, somebody emailed me, "What was that thing in your video?"
Where are you?
I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And they told me what to look for and stuff, and I went back and looked, and there's this, I don't know what the heck it is, sitting on the wall, looks like a gargoyle. And right when I put the camera up and talking about the mill, it runs across the freaking wall. And that video's up on YouTube. So anything I talk about, 90%, there's a video up on YouTube to back it up. I don't just talk
Snarky
about.
wants to see the Joan Jett video.
I got pictures. I got stills of me and her backstage. I got stills of us in the limo, and I've got stills of us at the restaurant. But I don't know what happened to the pictures from the hotel room. I've been looking for them because I really want them. But I do got evidence. My mom was a photographer, and we took pictures of everything.
Of course, you've got photos.
Are you saying you had your way with Joan Jett on the record?
I've got 10,000 books full of photos I'll show on YouTube, and I constantly show my pictures. It's just I got so many, it's hard to go through them all and find certain photos. I'm still looking for the Christmas party of the year 2000 where a whole bunch of wrestlers was at my house for Christmas. I want to show it on my wrestling channel, but I hadn't been able to find them pictures yet. And
that's the urban legend of the night right here. Did Andy have his way with Joan Jett? Urban legend, truth
He
or fact?
said that back when we were doing the classic rock.
Right.
Yeah, I went out with Joan Jett one time.
In the 80s in her prime. I mean, not that there's anything wrong with her non-prime, but I mean,
me and her and
no, she's holding up better than any of us.
Hey, she's still alive. We can ask her about it if we get her on. But
I mean, the height of
her
her career.
and 4 members of her band spent the night in a motel room, in Spartanburg, South Carolina. And I loved it so much, I stole the key from the hotel. I still got it too.
Wow. By the way, it's 6:30 a.m. in Ms. Rotterman's neck of the woods, is it not?
Right. Yeah.
Polly's coming into daylight.
Huh?
Polly's coming into daylight.
Once again, 90% of anything I bring up, I usually got some kind of photo evidence or something to back it up. I don't usually.
And he died 2 days later and came back.
One time you talk about a ghost, I haven't got the picture. My mom took the picture, but I haven't got the picture. I don't know where it is or who's got it. But my mom
I tease you hard, but yeah.
We saw an apparition when I was a kid. We was on a ghost hunt thing that we did, and we was at this old house that used to be this 2-story house that used to be a mortuary. And as we were in the downstairs parlor area, there was this what looked like to me a lady in a red dress coming down the steps. And my mom snapped the pictures, and when she got to the bottom of the steps, she was just gone. And me and my mom and the real estate person that was taking us on the tour all saw it, and then it was gone. And my mom actually has a really cool picture of this half human, you can see right through it thing coming down the steps. But when she passed away, I haven't been able to get through all. I inherited 90% of her pictures, and my sister got the rest of them. And I don't know which ones I got and which ones my sister got. And we're still trying to get all this stuff sorted out. And I think my sister has my Christmas wrestling pictures, and I'm really ill about that.
Go get them. Do a swap. Like,
Wow.
I'll give you these for those. Like, you gotta go get them. You just
No,
gotta.
maybe she'll watch this and give them up, but we'll see. But like I said, I'm gonna put I have put a bunch of my pictures on YouTube before, and as a matter of fact, when I was on with Chance on a live stream once, if he remembers, I was showing tons of autographed pictures and stuff.
I love.
I remember you had the one of the wrestler that you showed on my channel, like you and it was a blonde guy, like, and then you showed the
That's Boogie Man,
autograph.
Jimmy Valiant.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know him real well. My mom ran his fan club for like 8 years. I've got the big book of Valiant, with 200 autographed pictures in it, and all the newsletters from his first fan club, and everything to do with Jimmy Valiant. I have it. If you know a collector out there with lots of money, tell them to give me a call.
We know Danny Staten.
Yeah.
Definitely, Danny. Is there anything else that you want to contribute to tonight's conversation? Like, do you have any other stories or?
Like I said, if we could do a 2-hour special on just the stories I could tell, I haven't even went into the stories of the Lizard Man of Skateboard Swamp in South Carolina. We've got our own Lizard Man. Have you ever heard of the Lizard Man?
Mm.
I know
Snarky?
somebody has heard of the Lizard
Have you
Man.
heard of it?
Have you not heard of the
Have you heard of
Heard
it?
of the Lizard Man of South Carolina?
No, I don't know. Yeah.
Oh my God!
Hey guys, we have a special guest. Welcome, Mike Harper.
His tech isn't working.
Uh-oh.
Okay, but he might connect. It says he's connected, so we'll see. So we'll just
All I
keep
see
an
is
eye
a
on
circle
him.
going.
Yeah, that's what I see too. But let me take him backstage till I see movement.
Ow. Ooh.
That sounds really bad.
Not anything.
Whoops.
That's the third time it's happened so far during this stream.
I know, right?
Hey, Michael Harper.
Greetings, Harper.
Is that where Peter's? Oh, that's funny.
I found my videotape from Jay Leno. I'm going to convert it and put it on my YouTube channel.
We'll be looking forward to seeing that.
March 6th, 1995.
Spinning.
Wow.
Oh, I see him. Haha. There he
Michael
is.
Harper.
Mike Harper made it. What's up,
He can be
Mike
next
Harper?
about his ongoing battle with the horribles of the world. You know, he's a troll player.
He's a what?
He's a troll slayer. Well, he takes down
Troll
trolls.
Slayer?
Snarky
Troll
likes to
slayer.
be in
Did you see the
control.
movie?
Snarky, don't you get on the bad side of Snarky. She's
Yeah.
No, I just am wondering, what does that mean? What do you
Harper's
mean?
okay. He thinks the Earth's round.
okay. So, Mike Harper, are you ready to go?
Okay, I guess it's game over for me, dude. Take over, Harper.
No, it's not, Dan. Let's go back to the status we were. Go ahead, Dan. Mike Harper's about.
So
Go ahead.
I think so.
Well, anyway, I'll finish off with the Lizard Man of Skateboard Swamp. And in the
Oh, yeah.
in the 1970s, there was lots of reports come out of Skateboard Swamp down near the coast in South Carolina of a large reptile lizard creature with the head of an alligator and the body
I
of
think so.
and the body of a rat. Definitely attacked cars, attacked people. It went after a black guy changing a tire, and he barely escaped with his life. And to this day, there are reports of a large green reptile creature running loose in South Carolina, menacing people and attacking chickens. And it's called the Lizard Man. And you should check it out. There's actually songs written about it.
Oh, yeah.
Don't send him to
There'd have to be.
California. We got so many wild chickens around my town. Don't send him to
Yeah,
California.
we still got that scheduled.
Yeah, we do. We're going to show
Christy,
all the
that
wild.
fire put out by now?
Lizards love chickens. What happened to Harper?
He booped. Boop. All I heard is boop.
He was beamed.
I heard.
There's still a space down there. We didn't adjust.
I know.
Don't we adjust?
We're saving
Normally-
his spot for him in case.
No,
he
we probably don't adjust. Okay. All right.
Normally we adjust, Snark.
Do you think?
Sasquatch. Yeah.
Now I have
normally we
no
adjust.
idea because I don't remember 3 seconds ago. Never do.
3 seconds ago.
Sasquatch.
Chrissy, are the fires out by now in your neighborhood?
Actually, we had thunder and lightning today, and rain, and
Rain.
And that put it out.
but thunder and lightning.
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
but rain.
Did lightning start another fire?
That's what I'm looking for. Is I was just like trying to find on my phone
Crazy.
if any more new fires started with the lightning. But yeah, so far right now the sky is still hazy from all the smoke. I think it's now went from the 5th to the 4th largest fire in the state of California. I do have a friend of mine. I'd like to give a minute of silence for who lost her 16-year-old son who burnt in the fire.
Oh
So
my
she was
God.
at work and he couldn't get out. So I would like to pay a moment to him. That if y'all don't mind, take a moment of silence. Okay. So yeah,
You see how hard that was for Chance? He had to put both hands over his mouth.
I know, right? It is
Oh my
hard.
God.
So she came home from work and found that she'd lost everything. And she's a nurse, so she was at the
I'm
hospital,
so
and so she was safe. But yeah.
Mm.
Yes, Jeff. Today's weather was crazy. Jeff, I sent you a link if you'd like to come up and you'd like to tell your story. I sent you a link. I don't know if Jeff will. You is Jeff. He works with me. He is a coworker of mine. He sees me on a daily basis. He still likes me. Wow.
Somebody delivered a Shelley Long the other day. It has nothing to do with the topic, but I think it's interesting. Madcat 61207 YouTube
Yeah, that's my buddy Madcat.
says I delivered Shelley Long the other day. It was
Welcome,
Shelley Long's
Mad
birthday
Cat.
the other day. She had
Yeah,
a
it was,
birthday.
wasn't it?
She turned 75, I think, or 73. Let me look that up.
So Madcat.
She's one of those people that quit a hit show to do movies, and it was a bad move, like David Caruso leaving NYPD Blue. But I digress. She never
I
should
think
have
it's
quit.
because she's peach faced. If she wasn't peach faced, she would have been all right. But she's just peach faced.
75. I was right. You're right. You're right, Snarky. She's born August 23rd, 1949. 75 years of age. Wow. Let's see where she was born. In Fort Wayne, Indiana. Wow. Midwest girl. Okay. That's all.
Lady in red.
He's dancing with you. Cheek to
And
cheek.
Lady in red. Yeah.
I think you can put us all on people.
He don't know if it was Shelley Long.
Good movie. No, that was Kelly LeBrock. Lady in Red's Kelly LeBrock. That was before Weird Science with Gene Wilder, and it showed
Weird Science.
hoo-hoo in the scene with they replicated the scene with Marilyn
what,
Monroe on the grate, and she was
Hoo-hoo.
wearing.
Which
she was
which?
Where's Sarah's My Flock is everywhere. Hoo-hoo.
Sarah Owl.
Yeah. Hoo-hoo.
Being a teenager, seeing that on cable was something. All right. Kelly LeBrock was very attractive. I love Weird Science. You ever see that movie, Weird Science?
Weird Science.
And it pour some water on me or something.
Some cold water.
Don't let him get under me. There's no telling what I do to him.
Hoo-hoo. I love it.
You-
Chocolate water. Michael Harper's having a devil of a time connecting. He's trying.
Yeah, I see. You can see it too, huh, Chance?
Yeah. I'm your co-host now. Now
Yeah,
you said
I know.
Tonight. I thought so. I'm already demoted. Next week I'm not your
No.
co-host.
No. You are a co-host on the channel, so I have 4 now. You
Nice.
and me and Sarah, and one
Nice.
surprise one that will be
Mike-
coming up later. Ah, there he is.
I brought him up. Oh, I thought I brought him
Oh,
up.
we're fighting over buttons.
I bring him up, and when I click it, then you bring him up. Hey, Michael. What part of the world are you in, Michael?
Make Harper big.
Michael.
Virginia.
Virginia. Oh, he's in the USA.
Yeah. Virginia.
Welcome, Mike Harper. Welcome.
Yeah. You have to get Harper's going to be a little shy. He's used to wrestling streams where there's not no females. This might be the first stream he's ever been on with girls.
Girls, shut off your cameras.
Having trouble. Said I had trouble with the internet.
Yeah, it happens. It sucks when it happens. Are you having storms in Virginia right now?
Yeah, it does.
Are you having
No,
bad weather?
it's pretty clear.
Oh.
No, it's pretty clear.
So what's your story? What's your Chrissy, ask him a question.
Sure.
If you don't mind.
Asking the first question is why he's not on his laptop and why he's on his phone.
Because there's pretty girls on panel and he wants them up close and personal, Danny.
That sounds like something Mox would say.
That's why we're shutting off our
You just got trolled by the host, Harper. That's bad.
He is kind of cute.
Aw, snarky. Mid-sized Sasquatch. Back myself. Okay, so which unsolved mystery fascinates you the most and why? Do 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 do.
Great.
It takes him forever to get up here, and then he gets up here and he gets the shy mode. I mean,
They
what's going on
giggle.
here?
It's like Mr. Clean and Mr. Perfect. He don't smoke.
I don't know.
He don't smell wrong.
Yeah.
Giggles.
Come on, Mike, let's go.
I don't really have one that I know.
Have you
What-
had like
nothing
some weird experiences while growing up?
I mean, I don't mind listening to everybody else talk, but I don't really have one.
He's
He
saying
just
he
came
don't
up-
have one. He don't have one he could tell on a family show.
So he just came up to be close to us girls.
He looks disappointed that PD left.
I'm being so good.
You are.
You are Starkey.
I am. I deserve a cookie.
You deserve a whole
Michael,
box.
you got a cookie?
Oh,
If
God.
you're gonna kick anybody, you kick Harper. He's
All right,
dead.
I lost it. You can have the kudos back. I'll shut up.
I can.
I just, Snarky, I moved you right next to Mike.
I definitely can tell that I have not had an experience.
Give him the 20 question list. Harper, have you ever saw a UFO?
I've never had. No, never saw a UFO.
You never looked in the
Wouldn't
sky
be-
and saw a light. You
Would
didn't
be
know what.
interesting to see one.
Everybody's looked in the sky.
I
and
will
saw a
send
light.
you my sightings. I will send you my sightings.
Okay, I have a question. So, Mike, you've never seen a UFO.
I mean,
Have you ever seen like an
I've
overhairy
maybe seen
creature in
one
the woods?
meteor, but that's it.
Do you believe in the Loch Ness monster?
Yeah, champ.
Bigfoot.
Have you
Okay.
ever given this stuff much thought?
Not until right now.
No.
Putting him on the
Really?
spot.
Yeah.
Well, what do you?
He's Johnny on
Wow.
the spot right now. Johnny on the spot.
Well, I mean, it just seems like all over the media you hear about all the different whatevers and hootenannies and whatnot.
Hootenannies.
What
And
hootenannies?
What's going on?
I hate them damn
Hootenannies and
hootenannies.
hoo-hoos.
Ugh, that's the worst one of the bunch.
Hootenannies and hoo-hoos. We're going to be hostess pretty soon with the ding-dongs.
Well, what do you hope? Out of all the
Yeah, I
things,
guess I
Michael,
do believe in
which
them.
one do you hope
It's-
is real?
Not really.
You don't hope none of them's real?
I've heard a lot of people. I mean, I hope Bigfoot doesn't come into my room and eat me alive.
Well,
You saw the wrong movies.
Yeah.
There's too many jokes in our stuff. You don't put.
Wholesome channel, Jesus Christ.
Oh, I'm laughing so
I
hard.
mean, I hope that Bigfoot doesn't come into my room and eat me alive.
Yeah, you stated that already.
Maybe did you hear like some paranormal story from your family, grandparents? Sometimes we hear from them stories. No.
Okay. So
Yeah, if somebody comes up with an anal probe story, I'm
Had an
are you talking about like in the military, or are you talking about like in real life?
Yeah, I'm laughing. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to just play with the buttons for a second.
that was nice of her to give Harper a break.
Thank you, Peter.
No, I've never heard a paranormal story from my.
Okay. Well, I'm going to. Can you guys hear me? Help me with something. All of a sudden lost audio. Okay. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Okay, because I want to just, I have many stories, but I want to just say that there
Okay,
are
I'll
a few
be in there.
things.
I'll be in there in a second.
There are a few things.
I gotta
that
turn
have
my
affected-
camera off for a second. My mom needs me.
Okay, I get that.
He's
I
such a
understand
good
that.
boy.
I understand that. I take care of my mom too, so I get that.
He's a good boy.
Danny, be nice to your friend. If it was wrestling, he'd have all kinds of things to say.
If it was rock and roll, he'd have all kinds of stuff to say. If it was movies, he'd have all kinds of stuff to say. But you bring him on the one night we're talking paranormal encrypted, the one thing that he literally knows nothing about. We've had this conversation.
Not seen a movie about a paranormal cryptid?
He probably don't watch horror movies because they probably scare him.
Oh, I see an airplane reference. Rome 13 in chat says, "Stewardess, I speak jive."
I think he just froze. I think, bless his heart.
Huh?
It's not that easy for him to get up here, people.
No, it's
So,
not. It
it's
really
not.
isn't. The first time,
And not
I did it,
everybody's wired that way.
I had a puke
All
bucket
right.
at my feet the first time I went live. I literally almost puked in front of the world on YouTube. Like, if you ever watched my first live stream, I was sick.
Oh my god.
But yeah, okay. So,
All right.
yes, Peter. Yes,
Ma'am.
Peter. We are a fun group, and we've all found each other, and life has brought us together for a reason. We're
The
family.
universe got a crazy sense of humor.
That's right. But we all love each other, and we all come
Yeah.
together, and we do this on Saturdays because we support each other. And so
And I try not to cuss.
Snarky, you're not the only one. I'm ex-military, and I run a trucking company. It's really, really hard for me too.
I'm not saying that I'm the only one. I'm
You're
just
not the only one.
I just am saying this is my struggle.
This is also my struggle, but then I see my cute little nephew's face in my head, and I'm like,
so hard, and I don't hold nothing against it. I am trying because I care.
We all can be good for 2 hours or so. Come on.
It's a going over 2 hours. That's my concern.
That's what I try to have to focus on it because I don't even know when I say a boo boo word.
Okay, look, it's over 2 hours. This is my concern. This is like our line of defense is 2 hours, and we're over 2
My
hours.
God,
We're all gonna have Tourette's.
Are
when we
you
hit the back.
asking me to do our final thought roundtable?
Yeah,
we start
no,
our
I haven't
final
even got
thought.
to say anything.
Oh God, you haven't gone.
It's my turn.
I'm so sorry.
Hold on.
I'm so sorry. Now we're gonna get something good. Let's go.
Okay. So there are many things in my life that I've experienced from a very young age, but I used to like when I was young, like I would actually see things and like feel things and just have like a discernment or like a third sense or like fifth sense or sixth sense or whatever it is. That weird little intuition that you get in your soul that something else is with you. And I was constantly like feeling a presence of something, but I could never see it. And but I always had that definite feeling of like I could feel that there was something there or whatever.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
Yeah. And then when I had my childhood experience, I thought I was going to die, and something, I have no idea what it was, lifted me, and I felt myself give way, and I felt myself get really, really extremely light, and like I was floating. And then I hit the ground so hard it took my breath. And when I hit the ground, I got my breath back and I stopped seeing the light, but I was hurting. I felt like I was broken, like, and I realized I was really actually hurt and that I needed to get up and try to survive. But it was crazy because I had had that moment of like this just light lifting experience and then slamming into the ground. And then when I hit the ground, I felt like, oh my God, I feel like every bone in my body is broken. But I remember fighting. I remember getting up. I remember working my way to whatever it was that saved me. And we won't get into that because nobody needs those details. But that feeling of just like that transcending into another place and then slam me back into the ground. And
Yeah.
then through my whole life since then, I've been sensitive to so many things. Like I feel things. I feel other people. Like someone could walk past me and I get this like eerie feeling of like, that's not a good person. I just
Yeah,
instantaneously
you feel
get
the
that.
energy. I
Yeah.
understand you. We
And the
are so
vibration.
alike, you and me. Our
Yeah.
empathy somehow
Right.
make us feel energies like of
Mhm.
any kind, like
Right.
paranormal energies, people energies. Like we have a really deep empathy.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
So I was
Negative
renting.
energy, positive energy. Yeah.
Yes, I can feel when people are really good and genuine. And I can feel when their vibrations are up and I can feel when their
Yeah,
vibrations are down. And I can
right.
feel when someone's just frustrated, but they're really, really a good person. And then I also get those people that are just dark and you can't see anything. And those ones scare me
Yeah,
because they're
yeah,
just dark. Yeah. And you're just like,
yeah.
but I want to tell
Okay,
you
okay.
guys,
Now I wonder where I rate. Which one am I?
you are on the light scale. That's why you're on my panel.
Okay, I want to make sure.
You're on my light scale.
Hey, dude, we let you in the door. You must be
I know,
okay.
right?
Well, she let Harper in there. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
So,
he's okay too.
so,
Uh,
something that was very interesting is I was raised Christian. As you guys see, I wear a cross around my neck,
Oh, what's going
and I
on?
was raised Christian my whole life. My grandfather was a minister, he was a preacher, and I went to Sunday school and I helped sing in the church and I played 3 4 instruments and I was up on stage with my grandparents all the time when they had their church and I was very much raised Christian and there was a day that came and all of a sudden I started questioning things and it was after my grandparents had both passed. So they were both no longer, they were still an influence in my life, but they weren't there every day to push me to follow that path. And when my grandma passed away, we found some documents, and the documents were very, very creepy because it's the documents were basically like where she had a past of where her family had generated from the Vikings and Scandinavia, and then they had went to Italy, and then they hid among the Italian people because they had the same tone of skin and the same curly hair, and they adapted to being Italians. And so I know Shane and everybody out there is going to be like, oh, don't do that DNA thing. But I did do the DNA thing. And it's funny, it only came back that I was only like 4% Italian, where my grandma grew up and was raised in Italy. She swears she's an FBI, full blooded Italian. But most
Mm-hmm.
of my DNA came back as Scandinavian. And it was
Really?
crazy.
What?
Yeah,
But
mine
I didn't
too,
go.
kinda.
I didn't go through one of those kind of DNA places that you pay like the 21andMe or whatever. Like
Yeah.
I went through a personal one that's close and nearby that I actually could take it in and get it analyzed, and it wasn't for like a like it wasn't. It was personal. It's a personal lab, so it's not like one of those big places
Yeah.
that's like just
That's so
commercialized. There's not, but
interesting.
yeah. And then I also found out I have 4% African American, and I have some also Punjabi East Indian in me, Arabic, and like a bunch of other things came up. And I was just like, I wouldn't expect any less. But yeah, so anyways, what I'm trying to say is wherever we come from, whatever our DNA is, whatever our makeup is, it doesn't define us as a person, really. I mean, it makes who we are, it makes our genetics, but we are who we
Yes,
are because of who we choose to be. And
exactly.
so, growing up my whole life, my grandmother being from Scandinavia, the story is told through our family generations that they were witches. And so people always say, like, oh, well, the reason your grandfather became a minister was to protect you and your siblings and everyone, because you came from a natural born witch in your history. And I'm like, I don't know about all that, but I do know I have natural instincts. I can pick up on things very instantaneously. I can feel things. The moon makes me excited and happy. The elements, I love the elements, fire, earth, air, water. Like I love all of that. I do have a fascination for the sky and the stars and the moon and just anything and everything but I love. Um, thank you, Jeff. I just love earth, and I'm more grounded when I could just sit on the earth and touch the earth and feel the earth and touch the plants and play with the plants and stuff like that. So
You
I
know,
don't
everything you just said is 110% what Wiccans believe.
I don't know what that is. I've never I'm drawn to crystals. Like I showed you guys my crystal collection.
It's more Wiccan stuff.
I
That's
don't know. I
the
just know
natural witch, the real witch, the Earth Mother, the Earth
I don't
Goddess.
I don't know.
I
I have
know a
no
lot
These
about.
religions and things, they came about
Okay,
because,
y'all have to
yeah.
excuse my booty. Like, see, I have
Hey, Booty, you're
stones.
excused.
Thanks. Like, I have
Okay,
crystals that
crazy.
shimmer.
Listen, guys, I have like how can I call this? Like security situation here in Jerusalem. I think I need to prepare for shelter, so I
Right
need to
now,
leave you right now. Yes,
hey,
something is
hey,
going on with Lebanon,
bless
and I don't know
everyone.
what's going on.
Moment
I
of
think to
silence
need
for Polly. Moment of silence for Polly. Polly, keep us
I will
posted.
let you know that everything is okay, but right now I think I need to prepare to shelter. So I want to
Okay,
be
go,
ready.
Polly.
My boy needs to
Okay.
come. So I'm sorry I need to leave like this.
No,
Please take care and
Polly,
stay
just keep
safe.
me posted.
Be
Let me
safe.
know if
Nice
you're
to meet
okay.
you. Yeah.
I will, I
Keep me posted.
promise.
Okay.
God
Bye.
bless you.
Polly, stay
Huge
safe.
hugs, guys. Thank
Stay
you
safe,
so
Polly.
much. I love you very much and stay safe. Okay, I will
Stay
let you
safe, Polly.
know. Bye. Sorry.
Ciao.
It's okay. Be safe. That's more important. Okay, guys, we're gonna have a moment of silence for Polly. Let's keep her in our minds. And
For all the people that are living in war torn state.
yeah.
Bless her heart.
If you guys saw the video of her and her son kickball playing in front of the big orange tree in their front yard and running around the yard, just playing cute and kickballing back and forth, and it's just like, anyways, I don't think I need to go on with my story anymore. I say like we go ahead and wrap it up for the night, you guys.
Sounds good.
I'm kind of moved, so. But we'll finish it next Saturday. Is that good with you guys?
Sounds good.
That's great.
All good. Okay. Chance, thank you so much for being my co-host tonight. You were awesome. Thank you. First time Chance at BBB being co-host. Poor Sarah.
Hopefully Sarah will be able to talk by next week.
Yeah, hopefully
Right.
Sarah will be able to come back. Rome, again, thanks, sister. Love you in the chat. I see you, Shane. I see everybody. I see Jeff. Maybe I could talk Jeff this week into coming next week and telling us his story. You is Jeff, by the way. Everyone, I love you guys, but right now we just kind of need to wrap it up. And
I'm going to put on the news. What the heck's going on? I'm really concerned.
So peace, everyone. Please drop comments. If you guys want to get in touch with Polly, you want to know how she's doing, hit me up. I'll let you guys know. I have her on a personal chat, so I'll keep everybody posted. We love you guys.
Happy trails.
Yep. And I'll be interviewing Debbie Weiss on my show Friday, who owns in Malibu, California, an art gallery pertaining to animated films and television. I just had to mention that. I know we're ending somber. And we're
it's okay.
praying. Yeah, I just want to mention
Snarky,
that.
when are you, or
The Nostalgic
mid-size Sasquatch, when do you go live again?
Well, Sasquatch doesn't go live, but usually me and Sarah try to do a Thursday is whatever happens, happens, and there's plenty of cussing.
Yeah, I know. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Don't be sorry. Stop that. It's called a running gag. A running joke. It's okay.
Yeah. I'm wholesome. Not really. Get me backstage. How about that?
No, y'all. Don't let her lie. She's an adult, you know.
Shout out to Keebler too. PlayQuest was
Love her.
Absolutely, Keebler.
Chrissy and I played
so
one.
fun. If you guys get a chance, go check out last week's PlayQuest. It was so fun with us on there. It was
Last
great.
Wednesday night. Yeah, and I think that show's going to take off. I think she's on to something. It's a great format.
Yeah. Yep.
I can't wait for the next.
Yep. It's going to be good.
See y'all next week for part 2. Peace. Danny?
Happy trails.
Okay, I was waiting for that.